On that note,
Man, you guys see this Spider-Man thing? Ugh! Console Wars at it again.
Spider-Man 3 might as well be called Spider-Man Stuck at Home.
Not bad.
hey everybody, welcome to another tabletop game.
The actual thing that happened was, there's that Avengers game coming out. Spider-Man will be in it, but only on the PS4 and PS5 version.
I saw that.
Which is
I didn't know that.
Which, I get why because of Sony, Insomniac having the license, but is that pissing some people off? Oh boy!
Is this the Avengers one where it's all bootleg versions of the character?
Yeah, the one where they all look like the "This Ain't Avengers" XXX parody.
Yeah, that's imposters. It's a room full of imposters.
Is anyone actually excited for that game?
Enough that enough obviously having comic book interest and having enough friends who do want to play it, it'll be good for a couple weekends. If it weren't a live service, play it with other people game, I would have no interest. But because I know enough people who want to play it, I'm I'll pick it up and play it with them.
I'm more mad that the Insomniac Spider-Man game wasn't the kickoff to all right, so you've got Sony, you've got this really good game. Do you want to build some Iron Man DLC or Hydra
the shared
DLC?
game universe? Yeah,
make a game universe with this good game already. You have a good game. All right, great. You did the hard part.
Or Marvel GCU.
Right, the other stuff.
Yeah.
And they're no, bootleg looking face
If they were gonna do that, if they were gonna expand that series at all, I feel like Daredevil would be a really good mix because he's not overly powerful. He's not just flying around. He could grapple on stuff. I feel he would fit in that video game world really well, and he's just in a part of New York.
in terms of mechanics, he's pretty similar. So it wouldn't be such a huge jump.
He was in Spidey, he was in the PS1 and N64 Spidey game, which is still one of the best things. Good. Yeah, him. It's you run into Daredevil, Black Cat, and Captain America, and I think maybe one other character. Just they show up for a level. Well, Black Cat is Spidey already, but Daredevil and Cap, and then I think one other person just show up at some point.
I just wish they used the mechanics from an Insomniac game and all right, now here's Hulk DLC. Have fun.
Yeah.
Jumping around the city.
Yeah. Also, it's we make fun of the way the characters look, but that's not really the game's fault. If we didn't have the MCU, we probably wouldn't be making that joke. But we're so used.
It's Square Enix. Their MO is making pretty protagonists. It's kind of pretty clearly that they
maybe. Well, I mean, going up against the MCU doesn't help. They've said, it is in no way related to the MCU. They are doing their own thing. But when you've got actual pretty human people playing them in movies, and then you've got I said This Ain't Avengers version,
I would have been here
throws it off.
Anime Captain America, but they're no.
Yeah. They could also, I think, anybody who's not in the movies though, I think looks fine, and I think the only one is Kamala Khan, but
that's why I'm really.
She looks great, yeah. And they saw her she's swinging around with her Mr. Fantastic arms, and you're well, you got to have Spidey then if you're doing those mechanics,
Yeah.
But anyways,
all right. So one Andrew camera fix later. One
Andrew camera fix later.
All right.
I
So
was looking at that on the Facebook page.
I got you. I got you.
And I'm oh,
that's right. That's why we were doing so much small talk, just so Andrew could fix his camera.
Yeah. So we should probably give a recap of what happened last time because that was 2 weeks ago at this point. Who wants to recap the horrible
I'd like to
things?
do a recap of a very specific part, and then I'll let whoever is doing it continue.
Okay.
I got you. Well, I know what you're getting at. I'll pass the baton. So we're gonna So we it started. We started with the boss fight, with the regular boss fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
We started when we were frozen, yeah.
Yeah. So the whole ship, everybody on this boat was frozen. The only non-frozen people were myself, and Sid were not frozen. And then Ryan beams in, and he's like, "Hi, everybody! I've completed my experiments. What's going on here?" because Magic Witch Lady froze everything and was like chucking spells at us. So most of the party like eventually manages to unfreeze and starts like dogpiling her. Shog jumps over the banister and starts going after what is his name?
Sideman.
Sideman, thank you. I wanted to say Solomon, but I knew that wasn't right. Going after Sideman because he's the one who stole the family's money. Sideman, did he bamf away? I don't remember.
He had the
that like force field thing.
Yeah, he had the force field and then casually left after.
Right, so he leaves. We beat Witch Lady, and I don't recall how then we ended up in the spirit world. Was it just like a weird flash? After
we killed what's her name, and then she brought us there.
Right, so we kill her, and then weird flash. All of a sudden, now we're on the boat, but we're in like spirit world version of the boat. Where like everything's like a bluish gray color, and there's all these ghosts who are like save us, and eventually we realize like save us means these ghosts want to be like double killed so that they go away. But, like every time, maybe. But like every time we killed one of the ghosts, we had to do this save to see whether or not we remembered them existing, and that like messed with our minds a little bit.
Every time you guys killed a ghost, you tried to kill my character because like, I was the only one taking damage.
Yeah, but the ghost left behind this like goo, which could be used to get back to the normal world through some sort of thing. And then also, Witch Lady shows up again, and she's like, "Ha! I'm also here." And then. So we have Shog picks up some of the goo, and
you're leaving out some key details. All right,
I'm passing it to you.
So 5 minutes earlier, Katarina's like, "Hey, if we get some, maybe I can make an incantation to get us all out of here. So kill one of the ghosts, and then we can use it ourselves."
Which Shog
and then Shog picks it up and is like, "Yo, boss lady, is this what you're looking for to get us out of here?" And tries to hand over the MacGuffin to the boss. And he's
I see nothing wrong with this.
The boss of enemies to get to the boss to give it to her. And we're like, I don't even.
Right after Secret Huddle, y'all. This is the game plan.
Correct.
I don't know what you're talking about. My plan is flawless.
Hey, Big Bad, we did the plan that you're not keen on.
My plan is flawless. Don't criticize my actions. I did what I thought was best. But yes, that happened. Yeah, so that happened. We beat her again, but then she respawned. And then we found a portal in the back of the boat. And we all stepped through the portal. And now we're going to find out what's on the other side of it.
We also, during that long corridor scene, we realized just how many of the Cross children are stubborn as shit. And Big Dad Cross's former bodyguard is also stubborn as shit. So that was really hard for the caster trying to get us out of here, and the older brother just trying to shepherd people through. And then...
But because we went through a portal rather than using an incantation, we have how much alien goo now to just use at our discretion?
Which is great. But like we were screaming, "Hey, portal's over here!" and younger brother over here was trying to martyr himself, which was just real.
We were pulling a Hodor. Thank you very much.
We didn't need a Hodor. We needed a hustle your ass over here.
Did you see? There's some tweet I saw from some, I don't recall who she was like in the industry, but somebody's tweeting like her daughter knows that if she just walks up to her mom and does Hodor, like does that thing, it'll really upset her mom, so she does it all the time. She's like, my daughter knows about hold the door and keeps doing it, and it really upsets me.
Jesus.
I do have one question, that one point that I think it was important information that we need to remember. I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm pretty sure that David asked this dead woman, or somebody did, like, why'd you take the cross money? Or why did he take it? And she's like, he wasn't behind all this, I was behind all this, because I am serving some kind of master or something. What were the details of that again? I don't remember exactly.
She was like, I serve the master, and he wanted your money because of the master's plans. And we're like, what are the plans? And she
I'm dead. Can't speak anymore.
She had plot blocking, special quality of that boss. So you all step through this portal. And everything goes pitch black for a second. You all are aware of each other's presence, and it feels claustrophobic. It feels like the air is very thin here. And as you all stand in this pitch blackness, you suddenly hear this massive explosion near you. And for a second you think like, oh, is this like magic weirdness? But everybody make me a perception.
Okay.
I'm really good at these.
Oh,
Are we? So can we move in the middle of this like pitch darkness?
Actually,
No. Well, I mean, yes, technically, but for
Like-
the immediate
like-
moment.
I moved to the left.
Hey, you bumped my dice.
Yeah,
Well,
this isn't...
I just mean like if we hear explosion, can we make our way to said explosion?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Okay, so, David and Solvas, you two realize that explosion, like, you know, everything's a little weird and wobbly from going through the portal, but you two specifically instantly realize, no, that's real. That's TNT, actually. You've heard this, possibly, somewhere before, somehow. And you two both realize you're in a cave somewhere.
Oh. Cat,
Yes,
where'd you take us?
I didn't take us anywhere. I led us somewhere, and I don't know where we led us.
Well, you led us into a cave, that I know, and there's a dynamite being blown up somewhere. Was
What
there
is
any
it?
kind of flash of light or any like sound of rubble or anything, or just the bang that we could walk towards?
There's rubble and like you hear like the dust that falls from the ceiling of the cave. It doesn't sound wet here, it sounds dry.
Okay, so we don't
Anybody-
smell like salt water or anything like that in this
No.
cave.
No.
Anybody got a light? Anybody got a torch?
I'm gonna strike a match. I
Yeah.
don't-
Hey, my matches are actually gonna be useful.
So
actually, Artem, I'm gonna pull out my lantern. I'm gonna light my lantern.
okay. So you got a match, a lantern, and as soon as you light those up, you instantly see it illuminates in the cave the rock that's surrounding you. Unlike any other cave that you possibly might have been in, you might not have been in any caves, with the sole exception of perhaps Victor.
Mhm.
You realize the rock here is pure like red, and you can see the wooden archways that are built up as sort of supports for this cave.
Mhm. Could I tell if it's red because of iron content or red because of something else? Like is it oxidized iron or?
Yeah, there's a fair amount of iron in it.
Okay. Okay, so it's been a while exposed out here. This isn't fresh. First, I'm going to look over at Shog and say, "Oh, so now you use the matches? That's okay."
Actually,
That
if
works.
it's my lantern, it's probably like a little like just knob because it's oil based.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, I just use this. Well, no, with oil lanterns, isn't it like you click
No,
to
you
spark it, or do you still have to light it?
You still have to
Yeah,
light
you'd
it.
still have to light it.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I do use a match. Yeah, finally, no good for healing wounds, but good enough for lighting this thing up.
You know, I'm a doctor. I'm good for heal. Ow, shit. I'm good for healing wounds.
Was that Andrew? Or was that your character?
That was in character, bitches.
That was great.
Yes, next time you have a boo-boo, come to the doctor. He'll take care of it. I'll even kiss it for you, make it better.
I'll pass on the kiss, but appreciated.
Excellent. So it seems like this place is high in iron content.
Victor, you could make me a survival roll.
I would absolutely love to make you a survival roll. Boom, your survivor roll.
Artem, just because I gotta, from my own imagination, ask this. From our perception roll, this is definitely in like inorganic cave, right? We're not potentially inside of the belly of something.
Oh no, it's like it's dry. It is definitely like rock around you,
okay.
and you can see the wooden beams that like there's archways to hold up this cave.
Oh, okay, I like it. Okay, as
Yeah.
if it were a mine.
Exactly. Victor, you know from your travels, there's only one place you've seen rock that's red like this because you've been to the Heathenlands.
Of course, this is Red Rock.
Yep. This is the
And
part of the Red Dust Mountains, which means you are on the far west side of the Heathenlands, somehow.
I immediately pull out my journal and like flip through different map sections and calculate how far we just traveled.
So, I'm going to take you all to the world map. So that marker is where you guys were,
mm-hmm.
and now you are somewhere over
Whoa.
here.
Oh
My, okay.
And where was it that we were last heard about where our father was? Was it
We
like
traveled-
down in the deep or the wild bridge or something?
The deep.
20% of the way
The
We are
around.
Yeah.
5,000 miles away from where we just were.
That's isn't that a quarter of our Earth that
Yep.
we just traveled?
Yep.
Dang.
I turn around and like stare at the portal or where the portal was.
It's not there anymore.
I just kind of glare
so
into
much for
nothingness for a few
Spending
minutes.
a whole month on the boat, huh?
Cat,
I'm
do
glad
you
we
have
grabbed our stuff.
any
Not
magical?
my great axe.
Sorry, brother.
Cat, do you have any reason why somebody would make a portal from the realm of the dead to here?
Well, based on my week-long study of teleportation magic, it's tricky. It could be chance. It could be probability. I know when I tried to teleport, I was originally trying to teleport to Father, the heir of our family name. But when I used it, I teleported near you guys.
So you're saying even though we stepped through an established portal, we could still be not necessarily where we were supposed to be?
Possibly. Or whoever made that for us
Cat,
used it too.
Cat,
So we might be following them tail. What's that?
when you teleported, did you say the heir of the cross fortune?
It's a little bit more complicated than that, but
Okay.
you know, the man of cross. So that's why I was surprised when I teleported to you guys. I figured I would
Let's
come
open
straight
his
to Father.
journal. Dad? Dead? Question mark? Circle, circle.
Do you remember the other thing in character, Ryan, that you saw when you tried to teleport?
I do. Actually, there was a instance when I tried to do it and I failed. From the water that was there, a specter arose. I think it might have been Mother. And she appeared to have guided me towards you. So sometimes this is all quite theoretical, but sometimes outside forces can help propel us, propel people going in certain directions. Whether that's spirits or long lost family members, it's hard to say. It's not like, it's not like they wrote their name down next to who did it.
And
Is there a limit to how far you can teleport with this stuff?
So far, a quarter of the way around the world. Who knows if it's more?
Excuse me, it must be the redstone. Ugh.
did you see anything like that? Any kind of spirits or anything in this teleportation?
Artem, did I?
No.
No. So it's possible whoever made this also wanted to get here. Who knows?
Well, we should be on our guard then. We don't know who else has been through this.
And if it goes this far, that means that one we saw on the train could be linked here too, which means all those weird things could have come from here.
I guess
Right.
that if that room was Sideman, the one who took our fortune, said he or the woman that was with him made it, and he might not be far from here. So, luckily, no spirit should follow us since they lack bodies. But speaking of bodies, and at this point, Katarina's going to pull out these 3 gooey ectoplasms.
They're sort of like it's kind of like handling non-Newtonian fluid. Like it sort of like turns to goop, but like as you like quickly try to like scoop it up, it does like solidify and you can like hold it. It's very strange.
This is a thing we can do with. I'm not quite sure. Even in the magic community, working with things in the aether is a bit of a dodgy territory. So, think of whatever is illegal on top of illegal of those illegal things. That's what this stuff is. So, let's be careful with this, please.
Well, I'm glad we're far away from the clerics then.
Yeah, they would not like this.
Hey, Kat, since you, kind of met the Sidamon guy, would it be possible for you to teleport us to him in the same way that you tried to teleport to your dad?
It's possible. I don't. Do I have the required materials in order to do that?
No, they were used up when you tried to do the ritual the first time.
If I were to get the materials again, it's possible, but we were in a pretty well-stocked city the last time I did it, and I also failed, so even if we did, it's a crapshoot. But
Gotcha. But it's possible, given the right everything.
Well, does someone want to...
Yes.
First of all, a question for the DM.
Yeah, we got 2 questions. So, Ryan.
Richard, if you want to go first, I can.
Oh, okay.
Wait after. My question is, what in game? How tired are we? Like, I know that our stats refresh, but just like narratively speaking, are we like, should we be exhausted right now, like, and taking a breather, or should we just like keep on going? Like, what?
I mean, you guys are pretty tired. I think like this would be the moment where like probably some of you would sit down. I mean, during the fight with the catalyst in the real world, you guys did get blasted with energy bolts.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because
we haven't had a chance to rest since all that big fighting happened.
Exactly. The last time you slept was before you got on the boat.
Right.
So it is still in the middle of the day, but it's like physical fatigue, not mental fatigue.
Okay.
You guys think we should maybe get our way out of this cave, figure out more exactly where we are, then we could maybe take a breather, maybe camp for the night, figure all that out?
Before we do that, Artem, I want to ask. You know, in Hellboy, what's his name? Abe Sapien?
Yeah.
You remember how he did like a past scry?
A past scry? What do you mean?
Like he saw what happened in an area several hours earlier.
Oh, post-cognition, I think that's called.
Like,
yeah.
Is that something either with the Aether material we collected or with Katarina's time magic? Is it possible that she could, like, possibly, as opposed to looking into the future, looking into the past and seeing, like, has anyone been through here where we are right now recently within the last day or so?
You want to cast Detective Vision?
I actually really like that, yeah. It would be a ritual. It wouldn't be that big of a ritual, considering you're only looking at, like, the immediate past.
Yeah, not
So
like
basically,
a day at most.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely could. I would consider, since you're looking for people specifically, it would probably be like a life and manipulation and or ether.
That's what I was thinking, like Aether as in, like, you know, time has passed, or, and this is still kind of within our time wheelhouse theme, so
yeah,
not too much of a push.
Yeah, if you wanted to try that, you have materials. I think you have somebody's heart, right?
Do I have someone's heart?
You have mine, but we haven't gotten to that character arc yet. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
You might have.
My little sister!
I mean,
Well,
to be fair, you needed a heart for the original ritual. So, who knows? You might have gotten a spare.
Hey, Richard, Shock is only 77, okay?
if I may, I'd like to attempt a ritual to see maybe if we've seen that woman and Cyberman coming through here recently, if they said anything or done anything. Get comfortable for a bit. I'd like to attempt this. And I'd like to prepare whatever, I'm not sure what the word you called it, past cognition?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think post-cognition is what that's called. I know precognition is the opposite, but yeah.
So then that makes sense.
Yeah, so you spend the next honestly, I think that would probably just be a rank 1 ritual, so it might only be 10 minutes.
What do I need to do for that?
Ah, that is the right term, post-cognition.
So let me
or
just make sure
retrocognition.
it's the right. Okay, so sorry, it'll take you about an hour, and you just need to make me a, let's say, Aether check.
Could I do any other type?
Or life.
Like energy?
Not energy. It doesn't really have to deal with energy.
Alright. Is there anything anyone can do to help me?
Not for this specifically. I mean, you can direct them to help you set it up, and you could probably do it quicker, but as far as like performing the ritual, you need to be the one to do it. So
Okay.
you can also, it'll require either one of the catalysts you have to power it, or you could power it using your own mana.
How much of my own mana?
It would be probably 3 mana.
Alright, I'll take that. I haven't touched any of the catalysts yet because I'm not sure how to recharge them. So those are my emergency magic.
Yeah, to recharge them, you basically just do a ritual to put your mana into the catalyst.
Oh, I'm going to keep using my own mana for now. So right now, a life check is only +2 because that's my rank. So it's not very good.
That's fine.
We'll see.
It's a rank 1 ritual, so it's not... Look at that. Yeah.
Probably.
So you know enough about rituals at this point that this seems like a pretty simple thing. You understand the mechanics, you don't think it's that difficult, and you're not looking too far into the past. You draw out the circle, and you're using life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that gets a little morbid because the circle material for life is, I believe, blood. So you like cut a little bit of your hand, you make a circle of blood with the proper lines in it, and then
No, I heal her thumb before she can bleed that much.
Brother, just let me do this.
Not
and
sanitary.
you put down the essences, which is going to be like the aether goo, one of the aether goo, and you yourself power the ritual. And before you, like, everything seems to start to flicker, and you see this ghostly figure of, in fact, Cyberman, as you suspected, sort of walk forward a little bit, like gather his surroundings. He dusts himself off and then walks down the tunnel a little bit out of your sight. He is like this glowing specter of what was here before.
Is everyone able to see it or just me?
Everyone.
So it's like a kind of ghostly hologram that kind of walks through.
Alright, that's freaky.
I will watch kind of where it steps and go there to like kind of learn what his track is, like what his track looks like, so it'll hopefully be a little easier to follow him.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Go ahead and make me a survival with an advantage.
Nice.
Oh, David can sit down in his armor.
I rolled a 12, so I figured I could.
You don't need to roll to sit in armor. Nice.
That was a joke.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
you're able to track it pretty well, especially with the hologram literally walking. The hologram, after like basically moves past a certain point because the ritual wasn't like enormous, it does sort of flicker and fade out of existence. But like at this point, Victor's able to be like, "Oh, okay, I know where he went." And you go through this winding set of tunnels. Above you, you're hearing like eventually, let's say, like 5 minutes of walking, you start to hear the sound of pickaxes. You start to hear commotion from outside, and finally, at the end of the tunnel, you see a light where boards have been pried away. So it looks like this mine tunnel was sealed up at one point in time, but was in fact closed. And you all step out into this city. Now, this is just a small portion of the city, but essentially the entirety of the city is like inset into the mountain in these pockets, and then like where that huge hole is, there are entrances to the mine. So you essentially step out of one of these that was sealed up before.
Hey Artem, guess what?
What?
This is the exact same picture I used for that lower Dragonborn city in Centra.
I think I remember that, yeah.
Nice.
But
We've crossed campaigns.
Instead of Dragonborn walking around everywhere, you all see the vast majority of people that are walking about in this city are actually Malkine.
Which are, again...
That's me. That's Shog.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bunch of, like, insect critter people?
Sort of like insect orcs, basically.
Whoa.
Picture my
Dude,
my
orcs
picture,
had
but
carapaces?
a little
What the
more
crap?
toward orc, because Artem says I went a little too far with the bugs.
So not a bunch of Beetleborgs, but
Terrifying.
orc
Not a
insect
bunch of
things.
Beetleborgs.
Are they big bad Beetleborgs?
Well, no, it's a society, it's a nation. You've for total transparency, you've essentially stepped into Russia, because they're like hugely communist. But it's a little bit more fluid in the Heathenlands because they're away from the mainland. But you do see a whole bunch of Malkine, like way more than you've ever seen in Arcadia.
Yeah. So Artem, this being my species and like being from the mainland, like communist type of area. So I recognize like my people, and I recognize, I'm assuming, like similar like structures and like kind of labor going on, but I know we're in a different place. Like we're not actually in my. So, I think I'm just gonna like. So sorry, do we emerge in town, or are we like overlooking town?
You're like into town. You stepped
Okay.
out of one of the ones that was closed off.
I wanna like reach out and like tap the shoulder of like the closest Malkine to me.
Where
And
did you come from?
I will speak to them in Malkine.
Okay.
It's just the one language, right? It's not subspecies.
Yeah, it's just the one language.
Okay, so I ask in Malkine, just like, listen, I know this is a weird thing for anybody to ask, but what town is this?
Yeah, let me get the town name because I have to scroll all the way down for it.
Is that this guy's voice, or is that just you scrolling?
I just imagine that he has a scroll on him, just like, oh god, I didn't never expected to be asked what the name of my town is.
Hey,
You know-
what's up, buddy? Oh, hey, we're the same. We are not.
It wasn't going to be his voice, but now it absolutely is. And so he turns to you, and I guess he's like actually super buff and ripped.
Yeah.
But he turns to you, he's like, ugh, you're Duveron.
Doveron. I see. I'm from
You would probably
Insert town name here. I forgot where I'm from.
You would probably
You're
actually.
Duveron.
That's sad.
Nailed it.
I know the region is like Communa Verum or whatever, but
Community of Asan. Yeah, you would probably
Community of
actually
Asan, yeah.
be from the Tor, because a lot of the Malkine are from the Tor.
I see. I'm Shog, born at Blackstones. I'm actually from the Tor on the mainland.
Ugh, my name is Zerg of the Ash. I'm also from the mainland, but there's way better work here.
Yeah, I got out for the same reason.
What? Why aren't you wearing your badge? The foreman's gonna get real annoyed if you're not wearing your badge.
I don't work here. I'm just passing through.
What?
Yeah, I don't work here. My friends and I were just passing through. We're looking for someone.
You're not here on assignment. How did you get in here?
You know how like most towns have a front gate, right? You know, towns have a front gate. That's not a weird sentence.
I mean, how you got through the gates without papers?
Well, what I'm saying is we kind of came through a back door.
What back door?
You ever been spelunking?
Wait, We literally grow up in caves. I mean, yes.
Right, well, we were kind of exploring, and we thought, oh, where's this cave go? Turns out it comes out here. I don't know, maybe that's just the thing you need to look into for town security.
What?
I don't know if you need me to roll deception on any of this, but like,
yeah, you absolutely do.
Trying not to say that we came through a portal, given what happened last time.
Go ahead and roll me a deception. I'll roll his insight. It'll just be flat. Oh my god.
Oh, mine's also flat. Oh no.
Oh! It's like he just looks at you, stares at you for a second, and like he might not be the like smartest of Malkine. He's just like, yeah, I guess I should teleport, but that's, oh god, yeah, back door, that would be terrible.
Yeah, so people don't generally just pass through here then?
No, if you want to go through the Malkine territory, you need your papers. Actually, you might want to go grab your papers from wherever you came from in case they do a sweep.
Then they keep a record of all these papers, yeah?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Zerg. You've been a real help.
Yeah.
And hey, watch out for that buzz, huh?
What?
Never mind. Cultural reference. You'll get it in a couple thousand years.
And he goes off to presumably tell the foreman about some backdoor in this mine.
I turn around to the group now and now start addressing them in the human language.
Okay. Who wants the good news or the bad news first?
Bad news, I guess.
Bad news is his place needs papers to go through, so unless we can drum up some sort of fake papers in the next couple minutes, they're gonna know we're not supposed to be here. Good news. They don't know about that we got here magically. I told them we were exploring some caves, and if everybody here has to have papers, if that Sideman fellow or your dad came through here, there'll be a paper trail.
I immediately look at my brother.
Yeah, so you guys got papers. I look at Solvis. Do you have? I don't know. You probably need a whole scroll.
Yeah, actually, just as a little thing, Victor would know if you're trying to go through the Malkine territory in the Heathenlands, it's like straight up like Soviet Russia with the Iron Curtain. If you don't have papers to be there, it's a bad time.
And for the record, I don't have any of my own papers either. I gave that stuff up a long time ago.
Okay. So would it be a craft or deception or a blend of the two to falsify some papers based on memory?
It would be a... I could take either craft or deception because... Well, no, I put deception for disguises. It would be a craft.
You know what I bet this skill would be useful for in the long skill tree? Accounting skills.
You know what? Forgery would... Yeah, totally.
I'm
You know what? All my experience cooking the books.
Just saying.
The first like supplemental document that'll come out for Heathenlands is just gonna be a fucking accounting skill tree.
Yeah. Like give a bonus to forging documents.
It's
the only description of it is gonna be "fuck you." Here it is, Richard.
I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna compile notes for the accounting skill tree, and but by the end of this, I will have a full list of perks.
Okay, well, 1, we should get out of here. 2, we should try to falsify some papers when we find a place to settle down for a bit. So let's go! And I'm gonna kind of percept the right way to get out of here without jumping into trouble.
I can help you with that because I have favored terrain urban, and we are in some sort of city, so that should apply.
And sure, yeah. I pull out my field glasses, which increases my vision by 4 times, so I can hopefully better find terrain as well.
So are you just
probably
standing...
should ask that guy how to get out of here.
Are you just standing out in the open with binoculars looking around?
I mean, I'm hopefully not for an extended period of time. It's very much like okay, this way.
Okay,
like,
we'll see how
orient.
We'll see how your perception roll goes. So this perception roll will be for speed. I guess make it with 2 advantages because you've got your binoculars and Shog is helping you out with his with his
Favored terrain.
favorite terrain. That's
Fantastic.
okay. Yeah, you're very quick on the draw, and with Shog knowing how Malkine towns are usually set up, because despite everything that's here, this actually reminds you a whole lot of the capital in the way that it's like inset into a mountain. Just instead of the spawning pits being further into the mountain, it's now a mine. So you look at it and you're like, oh, okay, at the base of this mountain, there should be some way out of here. So you would essentially just have to go down and south.
Sweet. I kind of like wave everyone and start booking it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
let's move.
Yeah, you all move quickly through the Malkine territory. Is there anything you want to do here before you do leave? Because based on how high that perception roll was, you know exactly where you need to go, and I don't think you'll run into any people before you do get out.
I would say, Andrew,
Mhm.
it's pretty reasonable that these big bug people have large feet,
Yes.
and they have different feet size than the guy we are tracking, Sideman.
Yes.
Were you able to pick up a trail on Sideman in this
Oh.
red dust that we are currently walking on?
That is a good point. Do I notice if our path kind of aligns with Steedman's path?
Make a survival.
Do I get any advantages on that?
I'll give you an advantage because Shog is likely helping you in this area. If Shog wants to help.
That's my forte. You got it. Let's get out of here.
You notice that the steps are going in the opposite direction towards something else. He didn't leave town. At least not the way you're going.
Damn it, he's here. So our choices are get the hell out of here before we get in trouble for being here, or go deeper into the nest and see if he probably has papers, that slick bastard.
I'm all for going deeper. We just need, your papers.
We don't have papers because we're not allowed to be here.
I will say, because David was talking to Esme and learned a lot about it, he would know that the Sideman Corporation was working with the Malkine nation. They were contracted to make the train line for them.
Oh yeah, she did say something about that. Yeah, he probably does have papers, that son of a bitch, and that's probably why he's got direct transport to here.
So we should get out of here and try to keep an eye out? Is that what we should do?
Should either get papers or get out of here, but either way, we're not tracking him for now.
No.
Yeah, I mean, what more can we gain from him anyway? I mean, it sounds like he's just a pawn. I mean, we could try to track him later, but right now it seems like we're heavily outnumbered and we've got to get to some kind of safety.
Excellent. Then we continue booking it.
Okay. So I'm going to take you all to the world
Which is
map.
another thing that accounting should be able to let you do.
Book it.
So with the information that you now know that you are approximately right here on the map. So you step out of the bounds of town, and because of how the Heathenlands are formed, it's not like there's any wall or anything like that. It's not a fenced-in area. It just sort of peters out when there's less and less buildings until you're just sort of staring out into this wide open waste that is the Heathenlands.
Hey, Victor.
Yes.
And I would say you're
Got
looking
any
at the
advice?
second picture here.
You got any advice on how to get water?
Well, I do know of a couple survival techniques, but it's not going to be a whole lot.
Yeah, the cities and towns are more my specialty too, so yeah.
Well, it's not like we were exactly ready for this level of... I don't have a big water jug is what I'm saying.
Me neither. And I pull out a canteen and start sipping at it.
Yeah, it is exceptionally hot. Yes, you're just outside of town, Sydney. And already you can feel the heat beating down on you. All of you lived in Arcadia up until this point. Victor would know about how hot it gets here, but you're here in the desert in the middle of summer. It is like a straight like 110 outside, dry heat, just
Oh.
on your heads.
First,
We're
let's get
playing
some
for
shade.
escapism here, Artem. Come on.
I'm a redhead. I am not going to do well in this sun. So
Yeah,
let's get
I
some
agree.
shade.
And I
Cat,
have like
can
cold
you-
resistant stuff, which means I'm guessing the opposite is not good in the heat.
Not that
Before we
hot.
get-
Can you summon water or something?
Sydney? Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Before we get too far away, on the way out, I mean, was there, with my criminal background, was there any way for me to like maybe scope out somebody that could forge papers?
Make
Or would that
me-
be more of a like, hey, you're not at all familiar with this place? Kind
I
of?
mean, you're not familiar with this place, but that being said, make me a thievery recall check. No, you're just not familiar. And on the way out of town, you like look around and you're like, I'm not entirely sure where the shady portions of town are. You can certainly take a look around later because you, I believe, have the thieves' cant stuff, so you can look
Yeah.
around for symbols and stuff. But
Okay.
at first glance, you're not entirely sure.
A little too focused on getting the weird little pale pink kids outside.
Yeah. That being said, you are now outside of the town. It's just there's also desert in front of you, so...
I think if we can find a kind of a pocket near the town, just kind of like off, not straight into the nothingness, but
Yeah, of course.
there's some pocket, then we have a family-sized tent that I'm going to assume Solvas is carrying for me because I am not strong enough to hold all the shit I'm carrying.
Yeah, so the terrain right now is somewhere between the second and third picture. There are large stretches of open area in front of you, but like I said, the town that you were just in was set into the side of the mountain, so you could theoretically like get into some shade that, you know, the mountain is providing a little bit away, and recuperate and plan your options from there.
Definitely near
what ti-
where one of these little shrubbery things are.
And what time of day did you say it was? Is the sun like beating overhead, or is it off to an angle so there will be some shade?
It's like almost directly overhead, probably around like 1 p.m.
That sounds like hell.
Is
And
there
you're
any kind
working
of
in armor.
overhang or anything?
Yeah, I mean, you can find some rocks or cliffs that are, you know, slightly extending.
And
but
we
it's-
do have a big tent.
Yeah. But it's all this, like, orange, red rock for as far as the eye can see.
Kat, what was the answer on if you could summon water?
No, that's not what I do.
Could you take us back to a time when there was water here?
Sure. Close your eyes and think about a time when this was probably underwater. It was wet and full of fish.
Artem, it is not my terrain of expertise, but I would actually like to roll survival to see if I know of a way to gather some water.
Absolutely.
I would help because I assume with my first trek through the
Yeah.
Heathenlands, I would have been briefed
Go ahead and
about stuff.
go ahead and add an advantage.
Okay. Oop. D6, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I love it. Like, any situational bonus should be like, add a d6. A 15.
15.
Yeah, so Victor has trekked through the desert. He's never trekked all the way through the desert because even Victor knows that's like, you better have a caravan or else you're dead. But you know, if you're doing brief stunts in the desert, cactus will have water. Very, very rarely it does actually rain, so if you have stuff to collect water, and that's what the tribes out here usually do, they will have barrels to collect water on the off occasion that it rains, but it's mostly just cactus that, I mean, you've heard stories where people get desperate enough that they start drinking blood of animals because it's technically water, though
Ugh.
probably not that sanitary.
does it seem, obviously I know that, you can only get what you can get as far as the artwork we're looking at here, but does it seem like there's enough cacti around that we could potentially get what we need if we set out now?
In the immediate area, possibly. But, I mean, Victor would tell you immediately, it's like, once you're a mile out from, where basically people have stopped making settlements, there's just nothing. And it's more like the first picture on this, where it's just...
Yeah. Well, guys, if we want water, we could get it from the cactuses here. Problem is, I don't think there's going to be too many more cactuses once we start traveling out from here. And obviously, I don't think we're going to spend our whole time here in this town, so... I don't know what you guys want to do.
If we could find a way closer to some sort of civilization.
Well, you just left it.
One we're welcome in.
Shog, how well do your people see at night?
If you're asking me if I could see in the dark, the answer is let me check my sheet, but I don't think so.
So,
No, I do not have dark vision.
Shog would know, however, that certain people that worked in the Tor mine essentially used, like, eye drop things to give themselves night vision at the expense of being able to see in the day.
Well, it's not anything we're born with, but copy and paste what Artem just said here.
So what you're saying is now is actually a better time to infiltrate?
I don't think... I feel like traveling in the desert now is a bad idea. I don't think we'll make it very far. I feel like traveling at night might be a better idea, and maybe if we bed down here for now, rest up, we can see if we can grab some things from the settlement here, and then take it with us as we leave.
I assume Salvas and Victor are already setting up the tent. Like, you just hear poles and canvas moving around off screen, and the occasional, no, the other one, okay, move your way. No, your way.
Slot A goes to slot B.
David just starts taking off pieces of his armor at a time, just taking off the cape. Just
David is feeling the heat, especially in the full plate.
Yeah,
You're
it's
like,
like,
whoa.
I mean, yeah, if we want to travel, evening, cooler times, that's the time to do it.
Also, if they have some kind of caravan or some kind of animal that we can find that can take us, it'd probably take us a lot farther than if we were to walk through the desert.
Yeah.
We might make it. There's only so much magic can do.
Nonsense. I believe in you.
Great. And she's like profusely sweating and like, this is not... I'm wearing like Kevlar. This is very hot.
This
Does
is
that
going
make
to be
sense?
interesting.
So what's your plan?
Well, I
have
guess...
until nightfall.
Yeah. Maybe cooking some stuff, mostly staying inside. I've got an alchemy kit that I'd like to fool around with a little bit.
Okay.
Definitely have someone keeping an eye on the encampment or the work camp.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Going on.
Yeah, I will say, like, maybe like once every 4 hours, there's like a couple of people that walk by, but it's almost like it's not that uncommon of an occurrence to see people just camping out on their way to somewhere, because there's sometimes prospectors that go out on their own looking to strike gold in the mountains, or settlers.
If there was a
that
Malkine
go
named
and-
Zerg, does that mean the prospector is Stinky Pete from Toy Story 2? So Shaw can definitely like keep an eye out, and he would try to like, he would not admit to it, but he would just be like standing there silently, just like keeping an eye on things, and like if you were to like observe him, you would see that like he's not gonna take his armor and stuff off, but he is like profusely sweating in this heat, and like if asked about it, he'll be like, "No, I'm fine, stop talking to me," but like he's very clearly not okay in all this heat.
Mm-hmm.
But just standing there stoically trying to not let it bother him.
I wonder if Shog is in his mind like flipping a coin, like, was the heat of the Serpent Isles worse, or this? Humidity or dry baking heat?
Of course, these are flies, and over there were malaria-laced mosquitoes, so there's that pro and con too.
It's really not that bad.
So yeah, he'll just stand there stoically.
So you all wait until nightfall. People don't really bother you outside the edges of town, and slowly, like, it is an agonizing, slow 6 hours until you start to see the sun fall to the edge of the horizon. And even then, it's like you see it, like, teasing you off in the distance, but then, like, there's this 30 minutes in there where it goes from 110 degrees to 60.
Whoa.
Hmm.
And then it...
Wants to RP something before too much of a time skip.
Sure.
I think it would it fit kind of while I'm trying to fiddle with my my stuff. Maybe trying to, if there are the resources to.
Yeah, like after the tent's finished, but sometime after that before
Yeah.
some other big event happens.
Yeah, I mean, if... Okay, so you're fooling around with the alchemist kit?
Yeah, I mean, depending on what resources I can kind of track down and stuff, I would like to either create some sort of medical, chemical, or medical supplies, like the healing salves, or something like that.
Make me a survival check to see what you can scavenge around here.
Oh boy, come on, buddy.
I'll say you probably find especially because I remember you asking about this before and, like, looking at stuff. You probably find enough that you look at all the ingredients that you have now and you're like, oh, if I, like, break all this down and spend the time on it, I could probably make a healing salve out of this.
Okay, just the one?
Yeah, just one.
Gotcha. Okay. I will roll a crafting now.
Go ahead and do. Look at that crafting.
Whenever Shog takes a break from the guarding of the camp, he would come over and, like, kind of, like, look at his pack, look at his weapon maintenance kit, which is currently useless because he no longer has his axe.
Oh, no.
Like, well, tuck that back away.
With a 7, no, you would work on it, but, like, there's this moment as you're, like, heating up and, like, setting up your alchemy kit that you look at and you're like, right, I need water for this.
Yeah, it's like, I've got my canteen here, and it's like, well, okay. I'm going to do something wild here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to kind of blend and then, like, compress. What I'm going to essentially try to do is make, like, a snus pack of this stuff to see if, like, at some point I can tuck it in my gums and let my mouth hydrate it to, like, but that's some experimental weird shit that doesn't sound like it would work in the first place.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, the whole point of the alchemy kit is that, like, you're heating it, you're extracting certain parts of it and all that.
Okay. In frustration, he's gonna kind of, like, just kind of throw stuff back into his bag. That's fine. When I get water that I don't water that's not
Victor.
vital. Yes. Yes, David.
What the hell are we doing, man? I'm worried that we're just getting way in over our heads. I mean, we were just in, like, the land of the dead. I cut off. Sorry, I'm getting a weird echo. It's throwing me off. I just cut off the head of some crazy witch woman thing. I'm worried about our sister. Heck, I'm even worried about Solvas and I guess Shog. I don't know.
I'm worried about Shog.
Cut to Shog with, like, way too many flies buzzing around his head because he's sweating so much, but refusing to swat any of them, just still standing there with his arms crossed, watching the town.
Mostly worried about Katarina and Solvas. I mean, isn't this just too much? Like, I get we should find our father, but like this whole thing about getting our gold, getting all of our family stuff back, like I don't know, should we just let it go? Should we just I mean, gosh, you saw somebody like summoned us to the land of the freaking dead, and she's not even like the main person involved here. She has a master. Who are we to go up against all that? I mean, look at where we are now. We're out in the middle of the freaking desert in the Heathenlands. Like, we're gonna be lucky if we get out of this with our lives. Like, what are we doing?
I agree. So, I think our best bet is to find Father. Because he seems to be the key to this. He knew something was going on. That's why he left. I don't know why he didn't tell us, or maybe he did and we weren't cunning enough to figure out what he was trying to tell us, but either way, we are way over our heads. We're not supposed to be in the Heathenlands, in this desert waste. I wasn't expecting this. None of us were, obviously. So we need to pull together. We need to come up with a plan. We need to keep our heads level. You've been acting like you want to lead, especially on the boat back there. Is that what you want to do?
That was me getting to a dark place for a second. I just wanted to be left in that dark place. I feel like I've lost everything.
Well,
I felt like might as well just let you guys go on and let me surrender to it, but that wasn't an option either.
first off, never do that to me again. I'll never forgive you if you die. Piece of crap. Secondly, what was the second thing? Yeah, mostly don't do that again. We need you. You know, if we lose you, we've already lost Dad. If we lose you, then it's just another thread that falls apart. We need to stick together.
All right, well, we should also have a talk with the bodyguards. We should have a talk with the bodyguards. We should have a talk with Katarina. I mean,
absolutely.
At this point, I don't want our family's burden to be their burden. If they want to leave, I want to make sure they can leave at any time.
Oh,
this is
Solvus is
too much for anyone. Okay.
Okay. Well, second thing, if you're going to lead, then I will respect that. But I can't have us bickering constantly. I just got back home. I don't need to be bickering with you, and this is the worst time to be bickering. When it's us against the world. Literally, the environment is against us right now, so we need to be on the same page. If you want to lead, I will do everything I can to support you in that role.
Victor, I'm not the right person to lead this group. You are. I hate to admit that, but this is too much for me. I'm losing it. I mean, I don't know how much you see it, but when I'm holding up a dead woman's head, I'm losing it, you know? And this is... You always had that gene. And that's part of the reason why I hated you for it. I'm not a leader, I'm not a natural leader, but you are.
You don't know no secret?
What?
I'm only that way because I have to be.
Well, I think you're going to have to be a little bit longer.
All right. Well, this is the pressure. Let's make some diamonds.
All right. So we're going to gather the rest of the group?
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
I mean, I imagine everyone's rather close since it's a smallish tent.
Everybody could hear everything we just said.
Thank you for the privacy, all.
We wanted to be respectful.
I don't know about this Shog guy. Cut to Shog.
He couldn't hear you over all the flies buzzing around his head anyway.
Yeah.
He's gonna come over looking like Pigpen. It's just the cloud around him.
Fantastic.
So you guys got a plan, or what?
Not in the slightest. This
Great.
is us building a plan. So, we have a couple paths we can take. We can wander into the desert and probably die. We could try to get back into that town, worm our way in, and hopefully not be, locked up for not being welcome. Or we can wait for a caravan to pass through and try to hop on board, but who knows how long we'll be waiting.
Did
I'm
anybody
also
see
open to other
any
options.
kind of? Did anybody see any land vehicles or anything while we were on our way out?
Oh, we're both good at those.
Anything we could pilot?
You probably would have seen some horses and possibly a carriage or two.
Is it like a Nissan Sentra?
Absolutely. Actually, it's
In
a
the
Nissan
powder blue
Versa.
Santa!
Ooh.
Yeah,
I was looking more for like a Halo Warthog, whatever they call it.
You mean a Puma?
Whatever.
What about like little kids' big wheels? I want to roll out in those.
But yeah, there were horses and some carriages in the town. They were, of course, owned by other people and tied up and everything.
Katerina,
I would
there-
like to go in just to double check to see if I can't find a way to get papers before we leave.
Solvus, if you can, see if there's anybody we could bribe. We still have a bit of coin.
Hey, you want to take
We
one of
have
the?
coin? I have no money.
You want to take
No,
one of the?
I've got the coin.
Similar faces in there with you.
Sure.
Yeah, it'd be good to have somebody who looks like them.
what resources
Don't think this
would
is
I
going to be
need?
some bonding moment or whatever.
What resources would I need to try to fake those papers?
You'd likely need an actual version of the papers to see what you're trying to forge in the first place. Paper and probably some sort of wax seal or stamp to make it official.
Okay, so I've got paper for my journal, but not necessarily the full that stuff. I've got a pen and ink. Would we have used papers to get in something similar last time, or is that not something I would have come across?
You likely hadn't traveled through the Malkine territory, because there is Arcadian territory here as well, but you're not in it.
Are they more open to
Yes.
visitors?
Yeah.
How many hundreds of miles is that from here?
And
So,
are there any more portals we could just step through?
the closest Arcadian territory would be about 700 miles.
Okay, cakewalk. Hey,
First take
Katerina,
out here.
I think I know what you need to do.
Oops.
Call Daddy. Tell him we need to get out of here. Call Daddy.
Cat, cast sending.
I don't think I could do that.
What can you do besides teleport?
We need to track down
Seems to be
Father.
enough.
I think Father is the answer to all of this. If we can find Father, then he can explain this stuff and we can figure out what the next plan of action is.
Well, my understanding is we'd have to go down south to the deep south.
Oh,
I'll tell you what, David. If you can find me a human heart, the glands of a steam beetle, and a bar of steel, I'll teleport us to Father. All right? And
I search. I roll perception to see if I find these things.
Absolutely not.
I
You stare at your
Very
feet.
deserved that one.
I eye up Shog and start thinking about Malachine anatomy. Where would his heart be?
I turn and I look. I'm like,
Hey, eyes up here, bud.
Yes. Anyway. Okay, so Salvas, you and Shag are going to be worming your way in and trying to find some papers.
Assuming we can get back in, yeah.
Excellent. I could run the house call gamut. Hey, doctor, haha. Someone called a doctor. House call.
You might
Maybe
do
as a
that.
distraction if we can't get in.
They've got some of their own physicians, I'm sure. Most sites have them. Hard to force people into labor if there's no one there to keep your forced labor, able-bodied.
Now we could.
You'd
say,
think, but if you saw the books at our factories.
Excuse me? That's
Never
not
mind.
something you should tell a former, I don't know, but I'm pretty much a Marxist now, is what I'm saying. So don't tell me that.
This is 1800s capitalism. We'd have not the greatest working conditions in our
That's true.
factories.
I'm gonna say Shog is for sure a Marxist, though. Like,
Yeah.
100%.
To be fair, none of the working conditions are good.
Yeah.
we could say that we were abandoned by our caravan, low on supplies.
Then we
That
arrest-
doesn't really paint us in a good light.
That we were abandoned?
We still
Yeah.
don't have papers.
We still don't have papers. But what if our caravan took our papers?
Then we have no papers.
Right. But we have a reason
Well-
not to have papers.
Shog, would that fly here? Will they care if we forgot our papers?
Artem?
Or they were stolen from us.
Oh no!
Yeah,
This is communist Russia. They don't care what happened to your papers.
I don't think
like,
that's...
Do they kill us
All
or
right,
do they
Benny.
arrest us?
Oh, they'll arrest. They're not just gonna straight up kill you. That would cause major problems because you're all Ashante, and if Arcadia wanted fucking phone battery load, my audio
You know what happened?
interface is broken, my fucking Wi-Fi dong, everything at the same time.
I think when you left the room, they all came to life like Toy Story. Second time I'm mentioning that.
They're like,
technically
"Hey,
third.
fuck
And
that
they're like, this is the time. This is the time when we screw Arthur over and we all decide to die. By the way, we all flinch for some reason in this guy.
You have no idea. My Amazon cart right now is like full of $2,000 worth of stuff that I'm just like,
Oh my god.
I'm waiting for.
waiting.
Like Kat said, that's still no papers. I mean, I think I've got a better chance at least maybe talking through the gate, just because, resemblance. But I don't know how far we'd be able to get. And I look over at Salvus, and to be honest, if we're looking to somebody to forge stuff, I'd be willing to bet you'll find them outside or near the gate anyway.
Are you telling me that
Well-
this is Elder Scrolls where I have to walk around the entirety of the Imperial City to find that fence motherfucker?
And Artem, I'm guessing that we're probably not the only group camped out front of the gate, right?
I mean, like I said, every now and then, like every couple of hours, you'll see like another group or things.
Yeah, the first thing I'm gonna do before going in, I'm gonna walk around the outside of the city, if I
Okay.
can. Like if it's a walkable distance.
Yeah, it is. Make me
just
a
to see if anybody's just being a creep outside.
make me either a thievery or a perception.
Well, one of those is vastly better than the other.
Yeah. So walking around, and it's like, it doesn't take you very long. You walk around and you see marked on one of the rocks. There's a very familiar looking symbol, and you know what it is. There's a symbol for shelter there, and there's a symbol for forger.
I got this worked out. I'm gonna go check it out first, and
Okay.
then after introduction, see what kind of space they have. Maybe I can bring all the kids over.
Okay. Is Shog coming with you? Because I know you said you two were going.
Yeah, if you wanted to come with, it wasn't going into the city. It's just kind of a walkabout. But
I might, if that's what you said you were doing first, as opposed to going in, then he probably wouldn't join just yet. But like, if
Okay.
you're gonna get some FaceTime with another Malkine, then he'd join for that.
Oh, I don't. I was just walking around and see what I was finding.
Is the forger also a Malkine?
Well, I was just asking if you were going with him, but if
like he's only going like if they're going to speak to other Malkine. Like if it's not his own like people, then like he'll just
To
I mean,
to
in
it.
this region,
clarify,
it's
I'm not
probably
gonna
safe
do
bet.
the walk around, find the thing, walk all the way back, be like, I found something, and then
Gotcha.
walk back again.
Yeah.
Then,
So-
then you're probably just there by yourself.
Sylvas, actually, as you go in, you see an Enfei of all things. So you see the really hideous, like skeletal figure. This is the thing that's like what's the crossbeard between the Ashante and the Fae. The things that.
That's my next PC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they're like all like super skeletally thin, and they're like almost wearing rags, and they've essentially like made themselves like a little cave that would honestly be a little hard to find in the rock. It's just outside of the town, but if you know what the symbols are and you're looking for them, you find it, and you do. You walk into there, and it's almost like he's got like a rock for a table there and everything, and he looks up at you and says, "Ah, who are you?"
I am called Solvas. Who are you?
Ah, Solvas. My name's not important. What
Very
do
well.
you want?
Lodgings for 5, and maybe some papers, if we could get them.
5. That's quite a lot.
That's quite a lot.
Are they all as large as you?
No. 3 humans. 1 Malkine.
Ah, humans.
Or Ashante, pardon me.
Yeah, Ashante. Yes, I can hold 3 and 4. And you said you needed a forger. Are you going to work in the city?
Want to get through the city unnoticed, for the most part.
Ah. Well, either way, work permits are the way to go.
That would be ideal, I think.
You said you had a Malkine.
We do.
The one I deal with, he'll only deal with other Malkines. He's quite stingy. You'll need to bring him.
Of course, and I assume payment will be in order.
Yes. For 5?
For 5.
50 silver.
I think I can afford that. Wait. Nope, no I can't. I'll have to go get my party. And one of them will be able to pay you for everything.
Yes, good.
And I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Oh, names aren't important.
I disagree, but that's fine. Thank you for your time and your hospitality. I will return shortly.
Of course. You're like,
And I go hating the fact that I gave him my name.
It's alright, it's not like you say.
We hate it. That's fine though. Yeah, I'll make my way back to camp.
okay. Yeah. You know what you saw.
I need all of you to come with me if you're willing. There's a place to stay the night that might be better than tent, and somebody that can forge some papers for y'all.
I have one hesitation.
What's up?
We've already had so much money stolen from us. Should we not separate a little bit or have some way of keeping some of our money safe? I would not want to do some dealings with some shady people and us rob us for everything we've got left.
There's
How
a
should we
little
handle that
honor
one?
among thieves.
Is there?
In fact, that is one of the names of one of the perks on the skill tree.
Oh, well, shit.
what?
Okay.
I read some novel called Uncharted that also had a subtitle of Honor Among Thieves.
Cut to, I can't believe they stole all our gold! It said honor among thieves!
Yeah,
All
Cindy,
I'll say
you
is
should
this.
read what that perk says.
I know, it's to prevent other people from stealing your shit.
Look, all
I
I'll
read it.
say
I know.
about this whole fake papers
So
thing is
really
once
what
we're
that
in
perk
there,
is, like you wake up and you're like, honor among thieves, and they're like, damn it, you're right.
Swiper knows twice.
It's like when a
Swiper knows
pirate
sniping
shouts
him.
parlay.
yeah.
Like, god damn it, we can't kill the pirate now, he said parlay.
Isn't that like the plot element of like Pirates 3 or whatever it is?
I mean,
Like
that's
Johnny Depp
think
keeps yelling
Pirates
parlay,
1.
and everyone's like, "Oh, come
the
on!"
entire frickin'
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Shog's just
If
gonna
you
say, well, look,
feel
if we're
comfortable.
going forward with the fake paper thing, just if we run into that Zerg guy again, just let me handle it, because I don't know how many other people he told about a paperless group going through, but we don't want to suddenly show up with papers after we told them we don't have them, you know?
All the same, moving forward, though, it's probably ideal to have them, even if we're not just sticking around this area.
True.
I agree.
But people
Do you
do love
need-
their papers.
You need some coin?
It's 50 silver. I believe
Oh.
you'll all need to be present, and they did say that I needed a Malkine because he only deals with Malkine.
Makes sense.
I hand Shog 50 silver.
Silvis, do you trust this person?
I
Trust them
pocket the
enough.
silver, run in, and close the doors of the city behind me.
God damn it!
Sometimes you have to.
No
push
takesy
your
backsies.
fingers.
What was their name?
You dick.
Jason.
Insight.
Don't incite me. Don't make me fucking do it. Do I have deception? I don't have shit. Oh god.
I have a good insight.
Jason Voorhees
Derulo.
was his name.
His name is my name too.
Uh-huh.
But there
That's
was
a little bit
like,
better.
I'm sure the spelling would have been really weird. Like on paper, it would have been like J with an apostrophe and like
Fun.
a stone. Yeah, and
Jason
get his
Derulo.
name. I didn't get his name.
The letter J, and then hyphen, and then a drawing of the sun.
But he got my name, and he hasn't voodooed me yet. So
Voodoo.
I would
actually-
like to... Go ahead.
This whole name thing brings up a good point. Our papers should potentially have fake names, too.
Good point. I'd like my name to be Peter Piper.
Excellent.
Does that mean you're all gonna be Pipers? Are we sticking with the family thing?
Yes, you're
Yes.
right. Okay. If you're going to be Peter Parker, I'll be something.
No, Peter
later.
Piper.
Peter Piper. Okay, Peter Piper. Piper. Maybe Lacem Piper. Lacem Piper. That's my name. My undercover secret name.
Katarina, what name would you like along with Piper?
what if we did two sets? What if we did a fake name and real name? So if you need proof as to whether or not you're the Cross children, you have that.
That's gonna be double the silver if you're asking
Well,
for twice the work.
I mean,
100
Right now, I know I threw out the idea of trying to use our family name, but like really, where has that gotten us lately? Just a whole bunch of shit. That's what it's gotten us.
about 5,500.
Maybe we
miles.
don't want to give our family name.
How is your name Penelope?
Penelope.
Penelope Piper. Sounds good.
Little Pee-Pee over here.
Don't say it like that.
I was thinking of like with one of your human sounding names too. Thinking like Rock Samson.
You're gonna be like Derek. That's it.
I'm Steve. Hello.
How about Rock?
I would like to take. I would like to take the RP moment when I'm handing over the 50 silver over to Shog to say, like, you know, if this is getting too much for you, you can back out. I'm not going to judge you for it.
Too much for me? Taking someone else's silver to get a fake name to go into a city of my own people, into a sort of labor camp that I once escaped myself on the mainland?
No, not this immediate thing. Don't take our money and run. But I mean, the overall.
Oh, teleporting 5,000 miles to an absolutely sweating hot desert, seeking an adventurer who used to be my partner, who disappeared on me one day to have you all?
That.
I've been through worse.
And if you were to look into his eyes, you somehow see like a Vietnam flashback happening. It's like,
trust me, I've been through worse.
Okay, well, gotta say I appreciate you standing by my side, trying to make sure everybody else got out safe. I know that was a little complicated with us standing there, but I appreciate you having by my side. Frankly,
Listen,
I'm sure you've seen a lot more battle than I have.
Listen, I know I've been a bit of a,
Artem, does the Malkine language sound like Orcish?
It's like guttural, and it's like very one-syllabic words all the way through.
Well, he's just like, listen, I know I've been a bit of a, this time, but, that means dick in my language, but I know I've been kind of a dick about some things, but, you know, my last charge was to take care of you guys, so...
Tony?
Is there an Orcish translation of the word dick somewhere? Is that what you just found?
No. I based them off of the Russians, and you were so close to the actual Russian word for dick.
Really?
Nice.
The actual Russian word for dick is hoy.
It's really close!
Anyway, listen, I know I've been a bit of a hoy this time, but,
Wait, does that mean every time a pirate shows up, they're saying, a dick, ahoy!
Anyway.
Well, listen, you've kept us alive so far this whole time, and for that, our whole family's indebted to you, so thank you.
Yeah. Hey, what's that over there?
And then I pocket this over and run into town.
Oh, Jesus.
I was trying to have a bonding moment! He just left me!
Now I can drop the voice into real voice. Ha! I have cross-family mommy now.
That'd be
Now you are all the hoys.
Alright. So, do you all come back to the area?
After breaking down the tent, yes.
Okay. So, you walk back in, and, the Enfei is still there. Instead of, like, crouching over and being like this, he's all, standing upright. Prim and proper. Oh, you're back.
Guess this guy didn't sound like that when you talked to him, huh?
You're muted.
I think your headset's muted. Not muted in Discord, but we don't hear you. There you go.
So like at first it was a stumbling of like, and then he didn't sound that way when you first talked to him, and it was I didn't say that. I am riding this lying train for as long as I can.
So are we just getting one set of legit papers then? Is that the plan, or are we getting a fake set too?
How much money were you given?
I mean, I'm good with getting just the fake set because I do have, well...
Because if we're getting two sets, it's going to be double the cost, like...
Right.
So what are we going with?
I guess
David
just
had
one?
a good point.
How much are fake papers?
50 silver apiece. Or not 50 silver apiece, I think it was 50 for the group.
Yeah, so if we want double, it's going to be the 100.
So 1 gold?
Gold!
1 gold. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought that was the papers and the lodging, but that was just the papers.
No, that's just the papers.
Okay.
Yeah, listen, everyone here is gonna need. Oh wait, this guy's not a Malkine, so I don't need to speak in Malkine. But
No.
I do still talk to him because he wanted a Malkine to be present.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, we need 2 sets, and then I write down everybody's legit names, and then I write down everybody's fake names. Yeah.
Wait,
So
why do we
Is
want
that-
the legit sets?
I think just
Real and fake.
yeah, like just in case you do have to prove who you really are at some point. I think was the point.
Okay.
Which I have a medical license on me. I don't know if I need to get other.
They're not Malkine papers.
Yeah.
I
So I give
reluctantly
that-
hand over another 50 silver.
Yeah, so then I give everyone's fake names. So we got what? Peter Piper, Latham Piper. Sorry, what was yours, Ryan?
Penelope Piper.
Penelope Piper. Shog is Rock Sampson, and what's Solvus's fake name? Derek.
Varkill.
Ooh.
All right, just putting the kill right in there. Anyway, those are the names. 2 sets.
Well, that is fine. My contact will need them. I will have to ask you to come with me to the contact, as he only deals with Malkine. Sort of a stickler for it.
Can I insight check Jason?
Sure.
I
Is
would
this
also
still
like to
Jason?
Saying
insight.
you need just me or me plus the group.
Oh, if you want to bring others as well, that is fine, but he only really works with Malkine. It might actually go better if it was only you, but it's up to you. Solvas, yeah, as far as you know, it's still him. Victor, there's actually nothing skeevy about what he's saying.
Well, there is,
Surprise.
but not the stuff we're checking for. It's all skeevy, but
It's true. Yes, he is technically trying to get you to forge papers, but like, there's truth behind the idea that his contact only works with Malkines for whatever reason.
Oh, I was insight checking, like, what the hell, like, I interacted with some old sounding dude and now he is prim proper, sitting up straight, not like crotchety or anything.
Uh-huh.
What's the deal, Jason? But I got a 9.
Yeah,
So,
you don't know. As far as you know, you're like, what the fuck? I guess it's the same person.
roll a d20.
Rolling.
Anyway.
So who is coming with me aside from Shog?
well, if we can all come, I don't see any reason why not to.
Very well.
Assuming that's fine with you all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Artem, this
Mhm.
guy that we're talking to now, do I get any wonky vibes off him?
I mean, yes, but that also might just be because it's an Enfei and like nobody trusts the Enfei.
Hey, Alexa,
Is he using magic or anything to disguise himself or anything like that?
roll a
Or-
d20.
You can try and roll a perception.
Sid, what was it?
2.
As far as you know, there's no magic or anything.
Okay.
Hey, a 2 is 5% better than a 1,
Okay.
at least.
So, he's gonna take you all.
That clearly did not make much difference to you.
He's gonna take you all as a group, and walk you to a little closer to town into like a little building along the outset, where it's basically the only thing in this building is a little cot, a little desk, and he says, "We have to wait here for the contact. He should be here any moment." And he looks at his wrist, but it doesn't have a watch there. And within about 5 minutes, there's a knock on the door, but the Enfei doesn't answer. Another knock, and then finally another knock, and that's when he opens the door. And Shog, you're staring into the eyes of your former supervisor, which you ran away from in the Heathenlands all those years ago.
Hey, what's the F word in Russian?
This is the perfect moment for a Blyat.
It's Piet.
Blyat.
Oh, Blet. B-Y-E-T if I were to Americanize it.
Ways that doesn't sound.
Blet. Oh.
Yet.
Let's take a little break here.
Oh boy.
Surprise! So yes, Shog, you see as the Enfei opens the door, you see your former supervisor, who you have not seen for what was it, the past 30 years?
Well, I adventured
more than
for
that.
what? I adventured for what? 15 with Cross.
Yeah.
And
So,
how old's the oldest kid?
how old is the oldest kid? I forget.
Yeah, how old's Victor?
30.
30. So I haven't seen him in 45 years.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay, but for the first time, like if the party like looks at Shog as this guy comes in for the first time, you'll actually see Shog kind of look afraid.
You're like, oh crap.
So this man, or this Malkine, looks down at Shog because he's a full like foot taller than Shog.
He's almost 9 feet then, because I'm 7'7".
Yes, and he recognizes you. You can tell from the look in his face. You don't even need an insight check. He still remembers who you are.
Oh, hey, boss.
Shog. Really? You of all people want to come crawling back?
Not really. It's more a matter of,
Oh, are we talking in Malkine or are we talking in Common?
He's gonna talk in common because all the other people are there. He's kind of trying to shame you.
Technically
Yeah,
crawling through.
yeah, it's more like a temporary stay.
When Victor talks, by the way, he like gives you a look that's like dagger glance at you, and is like, "Don't speak to me."
It's, just, yeah, I mean, like the kid said, it's just more passing through. You know, trying to get a little journey going in the desert, but kind of going to stock up first, and how else are we going to do that? Except coming into town and making a few purchases, you know? So that's, yeah, that's kind of, yeah.
Oh, I see. You were just passing through. Were you going to pass through along to your debt to your country?
How can I owe a debt if I haven't worked for the past 45 years?
That is the debt you owe.
I don't think that's how debt works, boss.
Everybody owes a debt to their country.
I would have thought
Wait, hold on. 45 minus 77, 32.
I would have thought the, like, 20 years I put in already settled that.
After all these years, you still don't understand.
No, I get it. I understood, which is why I left.
He's gonna switch over to Malkine. No, you never understood. If you truly understood what community meant, you wouldn't have left.
Maybe I'm...
And now that family doesn't understand this since I'm speaking in Malkine.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm training community for, something more like family.
He looks at the rest of them.
Too bad none of them can understand that sentence, because it's, like, nice.
He looks at the rest of them, and he looks back at Shog, and, like, he sort of calls your bluff on that, and he's like, they're not family to you.
I'll do a deception roll.
No, I care very deeply.
That is how he says it. Roll out this flat 20. Oop, nope, not that. Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, he sees right through you, and, like, I don't know if Shog has ever felt shame before, but if he does at that, like, he looks to the rest of them, to the rest of you all, and speaks in Ashante, and he's like, "Are you sure you want to be traveling around with this one? He only cares about himself."
Well,
Well, as
we have
long as he cares about the coin, too.
I'm sure he
At the
cares
end-
about the coin.
At the end of the day, we're all in this together. So,
Are you? Really?
yes, kind of.
You're muted, Ryan.
Sid, is that a waffle?
I was just saying, like, you say he only cares
It's
about
two
himself.
waffles.
Sorry.
You say he only cares about himself, but I'm not entirely sure that's true. I'm not even sure if he cares about himself. He's done some pretty reckless things in the short time that we've spent with him. So,
Cat's a
I
little.
don't know.
Cat might be right on the money there.
I am good at insight.
He sort of looks at all of you and then looks at Chog. And he says, I can make papers for all of you but him.
What would it take for us
You
to
want
get papers
you
for
want
him?
a little? You want a little extra or something?
Guys, if we're only stocking up, I don't need to be there for the purchasing. Plus, now that I know who's running this game,
No. No, for him, you'd need to get some honest, true to God. Oh God, what's the word for it?
Jason, bring me my dictionary.
What the hell is the word for it? My brain just totally blanked on the word.
Sid, are you doing a commercial up there? What are you doing?
A sense
I
of
just really
community
want
from.
it, okay?
I like your waffle dance. Sorry, what'd you say, Artem?
You'd need to get him to show just the shred of community.
Well, I guess he's not getting papers. 4 papers then.
How about you throw in, I went to the community potluck and all I got was this stupid t-shirt and a sore tummy shirt.
I look at the cross kids and Solvis. Listen, guys, if the choice is no papers or dealing with my people's weird exploitative sense of community, I don't want it. Maybe I just wait outside for you to get what we need.
Do they know what you ran away from?
They saw it when we came through town earlier.
Listen, I don't care what he's done. I'm a free market capitalist, damn it, and I'll be damned if he's gotta preach his socialist communist propaganda to
I
you.
don't know. What are you doing?
Nope. Not here.
His eyes start to glow a communist red.
What I ran away from was a system that ought to work in theory, but you people butchered.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see this commie turn down money.
Maybe we should cool things off a little bit. Frankly, it's none of our business where he came from. We just know right now he's here to help us, and he's here to protect us. That's all I need.
Is he?
But
Are
if
you
you're
sure
gonna...
that's why he's here?
If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But like I said, that's none of my business.
Right, if we're wrong, that's on us. What do you care?
I care because I've always cared about a group, about a community. Say what you will about the rest of the government, but I've always looked out for my workers. It's the whole reason why I give papers to those coming to work here.
Yeah. People who take have to make the choice between being out there on their own, working for an exploitative system. Real rock and a hard place situation. And our kind know a lot about being stuck between rocks and a hard place, don't we?
Listen, you want to know about community sacrifice? This guy here, we were in a really dark place. We nearly all lost our lives, but thanks to him, all of us are alive. And he didn't have to put himself out there for us. He could have let us die. But he stuck his big throbbing neck out.
Could we not use? Could rephrase, please?
I'm right here.
What? It's a
Go again.
look at the size of his neck.
Trade that out. What's the improv game? Beep. All right, try a new one.
All right, the new one is he's a goddamn Beetleborg. He's a big bad Beetleborg. Let him have some papers.
Listen, we were in a dark place, and he had a lantern, which was very convenient at the time. Those caves get dark.
That is true. He did have a lantern. He did light our way, in a very literal sense.
I've never seen this guy once not do something for the group. I've never seen him. I've seen him go his own way, but not for his own selfish reasons.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
We need to help out the ghost lady, so I don't know. Maybe I'm not entirely
Don't
sure.
talk about the ghost lady.
So 4 out of 5's not bad.
He very clearly is like, you don't know him.
All right, then fine. Then don't give him papers, but get us papers.
You know what? I'm going to turn this around real quick. You're saying that he has no sense of community. By us not having him get papers with us, that's a failing on our part of community and family. So I insist that all 5 of us get the paperwork. There's something else we need to do to make you happy about it, or at least okay about it. That's one thing. We can work with that. But we're in this together and we need to pass through here together.
Oh, I have no doubt that you feel that way. But this isn't about you.
Look at me. Look at my ego. This is totally about me. My siblings can probably back me up there.
Yeah, 100%.
Usually that would hurt, but thank you.
What's this guy's name?
Kurz.
Kurz. Listen, I've never met you, and you have no reason to respect any of us. We're in a strange land, and we have no idea how exactly we got here. But I will tell you this, that this creature here, whatever he's done, he carries the weight of those decisions on his shoulders. The way I've seen him throw himself in the battle, he has little care for his own safety, for his life. I think he's walking a path of penance in his own strange way, and I think it eats at him, whether he likes to admit it or not.
Kurz is gonna look at Shog.
Shog looks at Kurz.
Is that true?
Same kind of stare. Do I charge recklessly into things? True.
He's too proud to admit it. I'm sure you know. But he's gotten us here this far. We really need him along if we stand any chance in this world. Could you make an exception for him? Can't tell if Artem's frozen or what.
Yeah.
He's like sitting there.
Yeah, I'm like, are you?
Sorry.
So he's just.
Yeah, he's standing there just like looking at you all silently. He's currently thinking, running through it, and he looks at Shog. You have to make a blood bond with them.
Really? The guy who's all talking about community wants me to make a blood bond with non-Malkine.
Show me that you care about some community.
Since I don't have my axe, without breaking my stare from him, I pull my spiked knuckles out of my pocket.
Oh, that is not sterile. Here, let me.
And just unbroken stare, just
Ooh.
like cut into my palm.
Hey,
Just
Hey, Victor, remember when I totally said that you were the leader? Well, that means you're the one who has to do the blood bond. You're the one that has to cut your hand.
Oh, that is not sanitary.
And he's gonna stand there and watch.
You're gonna do this on behalf of the family, Victor.
I keep staring up at him with this blood, like kind of like slightly trickling down my hand, like until like another member of the family does the same. Like I'm just gonna keep staring up at him.
I take a swab out and I sanitize my hand, and then I pull out a scalpel and like, So what do we do here? Just high five or what?
Shog will reach out. You'll notice he's doing it with his non-dominant hand.
I mirrored that.
And Victor being a doctor may notice that like Shog has like a scar in the same spot on his dominant hand from when he would have like had to do this like when he first entered like a labor camp like forever ago. So yeah, he reaches out.
He must make an oath to you.
He reaches out and shakes Victor's hand. Or no, I guess before they shake hands, he's got to give the terms first. He's like,
It's been a very long time since I've made one of these. But I used to protect your father with everything I had. And with this, I'd be swearing to protect you, your younger brother, your younger sister. Looks over at Solvis. And I guess her too. And when it comes to a Malkine, blood's definitely bond.
oh, and Artem, I don't know, is mine red or is it a different color? I'm guessing it's probably a different color, right?
I honestly haven't thought about that too much, but I guess if it's more insect-like, it might be like blackish.
I was almost picturing you know how horseshoe crabs have that like cerulean, like the like blue blood.
Could be, yeah.
I was kind of picturing that.
All right.
I thought insects were like some kind of like white ichor thing or something. I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time looking at insect
Both
blood.
have a yellow or green.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
We
know.
can go with green. Green would be cool.
Sure, let's go with green.
Okay.
I honestly haven't thought about this.
Very Doom, like 90s Doom with the safe settings on.
Yeah. Victor is like scrolling through mentally, like, okay, what viruses and diseases can I pick up from Malachine? Where's the overlap? And just kind of hoping for the best. He's sweating a little bit.
While that's going through all that's spinning around in his mind, Shog's just staring at him.
Do you accept this oath from me?
Yep.
Alright, so reach out and shake Victor's hand. And the red and green blood makes the floor look all Christmassy as it drips down.
And that seems to appease Kurz in his weird sort of cultural way. And he'll sit down at the table and he starts to write out the papers for you all.
Victor kind of leans over and looks at David. Now, does this supersede the contract we had where he gets paid a certain amount, or how does that work?
Oh yeah, we're family now, so I guess he just
Okay.
gets a cut of the family profits or something.
Oh,
Keep it.
Should probably cut Solvis in on this too. She deserves it more than he does.
we didn't have Salvas cut in on this?
Let her take my cut. That's not why I'm doing this.
What profits? You don't have a factory anymore.
Yeah,
Oh, that hurt. Low blow. Low blow.
You know what? I got a few gold left. I'm gonna invest.
In
Uh,
an accounting tree.
So he
A few gold can get us a nice living somewhere.
So he sits down, he fills out the papers, both sets of them, and he takes his payment and everything, and he turns just before he leaves, and he looks at Victor, because you're the one who made the bond, and he says, "Now you watch him and make sure he doesn't break it again." And then he'll leave.
As soon as he leaves, I pull out and like sterilize the wound. You want me to take a look at that?
No.
All right. Your infection.
Does anybody have the honor among bodyguards perk?
Honor among bodyguards.
Just like, hey,
technically, should I technically
Papers
take
and
1 HP off probably for that?
No.
Okay.
It's not that much blood.
Okay.
Alright.
I shake your hand and then just pass out. It's done. Ugh.
All right. So you now have properly made papers with an official seal on them. For all intents and purposes, those are official.
Nice.
There it is. So now we can go into the settlement and not be bothered. We can get supplies and we can get hopefully a ride and we can keep going, right?
Is anybody going to expect us to work, though, if we have workers' permits?
I look over before Kurz leaves. I look over.
Wait a minute. Before you go, you used to run a camp that I was a part of. Is that what you're doing here too?
Yes.
Not really. And yet you're the one making fake papers, I see. Guess you'll expand your workforce by any means, huh?
Anything for Communia Savan. Ugh. Communia Vasan.
Yeah, we should have probably named our town different, huh? Bit of a tongue twister. Anyways. Yeah. Anything for the whatever.
Yeah, except for good working conditions, apparently.
I heard that. Accurate.
Okay. So now what do you all do?
I could to scrounge together. Are we going out into the wasteland, or are we going back towards civilization? Like,
Well-
I've kind of lost the plot here.
Yeah, I thought we were just getting stuff to go out into the desert, but also that Sideman guy might still be here.
Right.
There's also that
But-
part.
I guess further out, like, what is the purpose of going out and into the wastelands?
We're trying to go
Oh.
to the deeps to find our father.
Yeah, so let me take you back to the
Okay.
world map. The last you heard of where your father was going, you heard about a magical city called Sharnia, and that's located in the deep.
Okay.
Somewhere.
So heading
That's
south.
still like a continent
southwest.
away.
Woof.
So we
Oh,
need to find a ride.
Mhm.
If this was like an Elder Scrolls, every NPC we'd have the option to say, "Hey, ever heard of Sharnia?" And I'm guessing it would be no every time so far.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, a lot of... Actually, it would be a lot of myths, especially if you start asking about it around here, but yeah.
Yeah, no one being
Well,
like, "Oh, let me add it to your map."
Yeah.
So, some kind of land vehicle, make sure we got good rations and water supply
Yeah.
would be good. And then if we want to investigate this Sideman guy more, we can. But so far in all the conversations, David has felt defeated in that.
Hmm.
Is his
As
full
far as
name
where we've
Apple
left off
Sideman?
RP-wise.
No, it's Wolfgang Sideman.
I like my joke.
My guess is if this guy has business dealings with the Beetleborgs here, then he's probably royalty or untouchable.
And he's just a pawn anyway.
But I mean, if he's vulnerable, let's go kick his teeth in. But we should,
Especially now that he doesn't have his little girlfriend with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now you're able to go around the town and everything, so whatever you want to do here.
so let's go.
One thing I want to make sure that I do is go to Solvas and say, "Hey, Solvas, you know your family too, right? Like you do."
I mean, I think to an extent, yeah.
I mean, if you want to do a blood oath, something like that, I'm sure I can get Victor to do that again.
It's not necessary.
Okay, just I feel like I've never acknowledged that before, and I feel bad. But you're part of the family.
I see
if
you
this
all
is
that
getting, and if this is getting in way too deep, you can leave at any time. Like what we're heading into, it's clearly bigger than any of us thought this was going to be.
We'll see. For now, I think I'm pretty invested in seeing you kids through this.
Okay.
How old is Solvus, by the way? I just realized we both
Barely
refer to them
older than Cat.
Okay, I was gonna say we both refer to them as kids. It just made me think about it.
Well,
anyways,
thank you for being here and doing everything that you've done. We couldn't have done all this without you.
That's what I'm here for. Also, if any of you try to force me into that blood oath, I will find the nearest ocean and I'll just walk into it.
Fair enough.
That is roughly 200 miles away.
I will walk there, and I will walk into it.
while the Hulk music plays.
And I will walk 200.
125
Yeah.
525 miles. Dear Lord.
So what time is it now? Can we go into the city?
Yeah, it's around like 7 p.m. It has lowered in temperature drastically at this point. And the sun is basically gone. Ooh, I can make it a nighttime version of this map.
Ooh. Oh, really? There's like a switch you can flip?
Yeah, I can hit the moon switch and it should do things. Look at that.
Wait, it's
Yeah, it's all gradual too.
It's pretty cool.
Oh.
We're spoiled over here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
So there we go. Now we are in night version.
Well, the sunset moves really fast over here.
I was just waiting for a ow as the sun goes down.
As the Stalfos rise up.
Okay,
Yep.
so I
Oh,
guess
are we
need-
getting a red Ganondorf moon tonight?
Absolutely, everything respawns. You're fucked.
So I'm
Great.
thinking 2 wagons, 4 horses? No, that's more.
Oh wait,
horse
sorry.
speed.
You
Sorry,
feel like
hold
we
up.
need
Can we
two?
also talk about? We kind of glanced over it. That one like 10-minute period where suddenly it was like 60 degrees.
Oh yeah, no, it's cold now.
Oh. What was that all
Oh.
about? Oh, are you saying that it? Are you sorry? Earlier, were you saying that it just went to 60 degrees? Because I thought the way you described it was that it like only was 60 degrees for like 10 minutes and then it got hot again.
Oh no, it's like 60 now, and in fact, as the sun
Okay.
goes down further, it's like dropping even more. The desert gets
Okay,
cold
got it.
as
So there
balls.
Hmm.
Okay, so there was not some like event that suddenly was like cold for a
No.
little bit in this. Okay.
No.
Okay,
So
well I
it's
put my
always
armor back
miserable.
on.
It's always miserable to travel in the desert.
I don't know what you mean. 60 degrees feels pretty nice to me.
Oh, and dropping.
Yeah,
And-
well,
and dropping.
enjoy it while it lasts.
So I guess we need to wrangle a couple horses, a wagon or two, just a shitload of water, and buttloads of food.
Well, either David or myself would probably be driving the wagon, so you'd probably be fine with just one. Like one of us driving, and then the other 4 inside.
Well, I mean, if we have
The
one wagon full
problem
of
is that
supplies
I'm
and one
fucking
wagon for us.
massive.
Right.
There's that.
If we
Let's
have
get you
one
your
wagon-
own like sidecar.
If we get a wagon for us and a wagon for all the supplies,
Mm.
then like we should hopefully have enough money or enough stuff. Or could we? Jesus, -4 Fahrenheit. Wow.
Celsius.
Saren? Yeah.
Thank you. You know, Fahrenheit and
My
Fahrenheit.
name's Sarah. Sarah N. Height.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
so
like,
it can go down to 24 Fahrenheit.
I'd also like to look, see if there's something I could find to figure out caravan patterns that we may like run into. So hopefully, like if we need to join up with them or resupply somehow, we'd
Sure.
have that option.
Yeah, I mean, you could start asking around about other caravans that might have gone through or like set out, or what other towns are nearby and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll start gathering information, try to find like the best path
Mhm.
where we don't need to, so we
Okay.
don't have a bunch of spoiling food rolling through the desert.
So, looking at the world map real quick, what you're able to find pretty easily is that the last town that sort of exists is just about here. I don't know if you can see my ruler.
That's 525 miles away.
No, this is 350.
Oh, there it's 350. Okay.
Yeah. So it's about 350 miles away. And that's like the last civilized town. From there, you essentially would have to pass through the mountains. At which point, through your gatherings, make me a... what would this be? Make me like a charm roll to see how much you can get from people. Okay, yeah. So, just talking to people, because, like, there's Malkine everywhere and they don't really trust you, but they can see that, obviously, like, they're like, oh, he's gonna die if we don't tell him. So you know that's the last town. From there, essentially the only people that are around are tribes. Heathen tribes that have been displaced and moved into the Red Dust Mountains. If you were to find them, they either could be helpful. Some people have said that if they've earned their favors, they've received help, or they could be violent.
What about common offerings or trade goods for those instances?
They don't care about money. Water is valued highly. And most of all, their culture is very, like, nature-based. A lot of the tribes actually are like totem tribes. They value animals.
Okay.
We should pick up an animal.
No, because that'll be a dead animal by the time we get to them. Have some nice animal skins.
I was gonna say, does the animal need to be alive, or are they picky?
I mean, they live off they respect animals. They, like, obviously they know that they're not like vegetarians. They don't ever kill or eat animals or anything like that. It's more like if you ask about their culture a little bit, let's see. Just roll me a d20 to see how much you can learn about this.
Like a tip to tail, like respect the animal and thank it, and
yeah, basically, like you know that the totem tribes are called that because they basically believe that everybody has their own totem, and they are connected to some sort of animal, and that becomes their totem, essentially.
Nice. So anyone who whittles, if you could start whittling a bunch of different little wooden animals to offer up, that might be convenient. Like a couple coyotes, snakes, and eagles, rams, whatever you can. Yeah.
Sorry, currently busy saving another world. You're on your own for this one.
I couldn't tell if you were thinking or if you were actually doing a bronze dash there.
Anyone else? What are you up to? Or if you said, I've already forgotten.
Shog is probably just like, he's among his people, but he's gonna be just following wherever the group goes and being extremely silent and sullen. If anybody like is looking, they'll notice he seems to be acting that way, but he's not gonna like venture out and do anything on his own right now.
I'd also like to get like kind of a hollow copper or iron tube.
Okay.
Maybe with yeah. My idea is to, in one of the barrels, kind of stick it in a, like, have it resting in there, so as the temperature changes, it condenses, it catches any water vapor and condenses it to make our water supplies stretch, like, a little longer.
It's very dry air here.
Yeah.
Nothing really condenses.
I'm just thinking about like those beetles that do that, like they hang out on the dunes. You know which ones I'm talking about?
Yeah. I mean, you certainly can do that. Like a pipe like that would only be like 5 bronze.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see how that works.
I know somebody mentioned horses and carriages. Carriage would for 2 people would cost. Sorry, for 4 people would cost about 25 silver, and a horse is about 25 silver each.
Is that the only way to get through in the desert? Is horses?
Mules. You could get donkeys technically, but you can't ride those.
Anything that won't drop dead in 150-degree heat?
If you're asking about camels, no.
Or -4 Celsius, or Fahrenheit, as I've heard it called.
All right. Well, we've got about 4.5 gold to spend, unless we want to hawk our mother's jewelry, which I would really rather not do.
I have. How much do I have on me? Not much, but. Oh, I have 9 silver on me.
Can I go buy a dowsing rod? Or dowsing rods?
Sure.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
It's 2 metal rods that let you guide user to water underground. Don't tell me good luck when it's there in the shit. At least I'm not buying a fucking fishing net.
Now, guys, what we could do is we could head northwest, take a boat west and south, and then we only have like this little crossing to this great lake.
Do we have a map
You're the
of
one.
settlements on the way?
You're
the one who's been here before, man.
You know of where the last settlement is. I will say this map is sort of like more than what most people would know. Past the mountains, nobody really knows like what the topography is.
All right, so we're brave.
Artem, would you? Sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
Oh, nothing. I'm just looking at our future deaths.
Oh, I was just wondering, Artem, could you like draw us a little line on the map if you can of like where the kind of known world versus the like, it's probably like that.
Sure. So, sort of like that.
We're gonna be found in the desert, just a pile of meat raisins.
Nobody's really gone off onto this like exterior thing because it's just more desert there. Whereas people have sort of tried to go towards the deep, but as you've heard before, people that go to the deep don't really come back. So it's either you get there, you see that there's a jungle, and then you turn back, or you go into it and no one has ever heard of you anymore.
Well, no matter what, Victor, is there any other place we would want to go to than this other civilization that's southwest? You're saying you might want to go north?
That was Andrew knowledge.
There's a civilization like... Okay, I don't know how to do this.
There's an ocean to the north, but
I'm trying to just like show something. I guess everybody can see where my cursor is, so like...
Oh, yeah.
There's a civilization like around here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the last like frontier town.
Okay. Have you been there before, Victor?
That is a good question.
Probably not. It's not large enough for most people to like bother with.
I was made aware of it. Some of the guys I had talked to had made that trek before, but I've never been.
Where have you been in the Heathenlands, just so we can get an idea of what we know and what we don't know?
So, I don't have the political map up here, but you would have stuck to Arcadia mostly. So, like, here's the divide of... So, everything I'm circling in red is technically Malkine territory.
Okay.
And then... How do I change the color of this? Oh, I guess it's my color. Okay, and then... This extra portion underneath of it is Arcadian territory. So, probably within the Arcadian territory is what Victor could have actually been through.
So 100 miles east or so is the farthest I've been.
So along the shaft and maybe as south as the balls.
Why do you always go there? Yes, at this point, we've shot out of the tip, and we landed far away from where the tip is. We've just exploded out from there, and we've landed in the middle of this dust bowl.
Okay.
Are you happy now, David? Is that what you wanted to hear?
Sure. I mean, just to make myself especially happy, we're trying to get where the jizz lands, right?
Okay.
Wait, I thought it was the Heathenlands, not the Jizzlands.
I gotta.
And I'm
update this map.
So the question is, Victor, as the person who knows the Heathenlands better than anyone here, except for maybe Shog?
Nope.
Shog, what do you know of this area?
I know about as much as you do. Most of my time was spent on the Serpent Isles. Actually, he would answer that way more solemnly and sadly and slowly than that, but...
So, Victor, as leader and guy who knows the most about this area, do you suggest we go south to this last post? Or do we try to go north or northeast? Towards something maybe more familiar to you?
If we're heading to the deep, then we have to go south. It'll mean a long, long trek through the desert that we may or may not live through. We can run home if we want. Now is the time we pick. We can go home and not find the deep, or we can make this great adventure and challenge death.
Is there anywhere up where you're familiar with that might have the resources that Cat needs to teleport again?
Which would be, you said like an iron rod, a heart, and what else?
Steam beetle. What was it, glands or something like that? The iron's pretty easy to find. I mean, you're at an iron mine.
Yeah.
But
you could use that iron rod I just got.
But the steam beetle thing is a little bit more exotic, and also you're in a place where, like, again, magical stuff's a little wonky. Although might be easier to find in certain places versus others.
Yeah.
Because there are magic users if you keep going south.
Mm-hmm. It looks like our only real path is south through the Dust Mountains. The red Dust Mountains. Hopefully we can catch up with a caravan and something.
Artem.
What does everybody else think?
Are steam beetles native to the desert and/or Dust Mountains?
Nope.
Why would they be?
No, they're actually from the Serpent Isles, but yeah.
What about synthetic beetle? Let's just get a different kind of beetle. I mean, the beetle's beetle, am I right? Let's just get like a dung beetle. Get a dung beetle and see what happens, you know?
I mean, theoretically, you could use something else that falls under the same essence. You just have to find something else.
Stares at beetle man.
Hey, Cat. Listen, I know I've been pretty distracted for the past little while, but I still see you looking at me all weird like that, so if you could not just make me feel a little less weird about the whole current situation.
Just doing calculations in my head, ignore me.
I don't like you looking at me and doing calculations.
Is your heart on your left side, or is it right side?
That is the second time today somebody has wondered that.
Do you have glands?
I look at Cat, and I don't know, Artem, you tell me if this is too much canonizing for you, but I look at Cat and I say,
both.
That's good. That's gives me extra chances.
I don't know,
in my head, magically now Malkine have two.
So only one, but I could see him making the joke.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'll have a rough chance first. Practice run. While we're here, I would like to inquire into what's his face, Cider Boy.
Cider Boy? I was wondering if anybody was going to ask. So,
Yep.
Yeah, Apple Ciderman.
go ahead and roll me some charm.
I will assist. We could do like a buddy
Okay.
cop thing.
Add a d6. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's fairly easy. Like, once you mention the name, everybody knows who Sidemen is. They know about the Sidemen Corporation. They built their rail lines, and if anything, like, they'll point out the fact that there are rail tracks coming into town, but they stop here. This is like the last point, and you'll learn that, like, where they were going to go is they are trying to blast through the mountain. They're trying to make a passage, either to the other side or something. You know, they're doing something here, trying to extend further outward. But because of his father recently dying, operations have sort of stopped on that, and you find out that Wolfgang Seidemann is actually having a little party for his investors tomorrow night to get them back on the ball, get them back on track.
Is it a masked ball?
No.
Damn
And it's
it.
also not a huge event, but it
We have
is.
literally never done a masquerade in any of our fucking games. What are we even doing? What are we even
Take
doing?
note.
In
Takes that.
nearly 4 years, not one masquerade ball.
I thought real hard about that, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense here.
It
but-
makes all the sense.
I think you're also in the wrong time period for that.
Well, he just seems super extra, so I could see him doing it.
He does seem
That's
like
true. Should we make it a masked ball? We can make it a masked ball.
It's your DM.
Screw it.
Shog,
Sure.
Shog
A
and
masked
Silva's
ball.
both. Shog and Silva's both put on the masks. Yeah, we'll blend in with everyone now.
Sure, yeah.
Yes, hello, I am human.
A masked ball for investors. Invitation is required, and it is at his private residence, which is not that far from here, only a few miles north from town.
Did you say there was a railway that led out of town?
Yes, although it goes back east.
Okay, wrong direction. Got it.
Yeah. It connects the top half of the Heathenlands, essentially.
Family meeting. Family meeting.
I guess it includes me now, doesn't it?
Sure does. So,
And Solvus.
yeah. I mean, obviously, I thought. Yes, family meeting. Anybody. Okay. So, anyway, so what do you say we crash this party, steal a bunch of stuff from the dude that's helped steal our stuff, steal his wagon, steal his horses, and maybe pick up some information?
We find out what he did with our money.
We could find out what he did. It sounds like probably train stuff. What do you say?
Get a sweet
Hold
eye.
out for one more day?
It would give us
Well,
a
you
longer chance to get supplies and everything.
already got away from me once, rather than not having to do it again.
I think we should find a way in and if nothing else, we can go through his personal affairs, see if he knows who this master is, see how he acquired our money. There's a lot of information there we should get into.
All right. Shog, Salvus, you guys pose as part of the security team. I'll be catering. Let's see. David, you're of course, an investor. And
Yeah.
Katerina,
Why are you grimacing already?
you're a kid. What does baby sister do? I don't know. Schmooze?
I could go in as a guest.
You could go in as a guest.
Back up David. Make sure he's not flying off the handle.
Excellent.
I mean, what do you want me to do once I see him, once he sees us?
Not that. I don't want you to kill him in front of
That's what
everyone.
masks are for.
listen, there has to be a part where you both bump into each other and you know it's him, but he doesn't know it's you. And then you exchange coded words back and forth to each other. Maybe slip in what you believe in, your ideologies. And then later on, you fight. Preferably.
Oh, we're doing a Batman versus Superman thing. Got it.
But I'll have slid in behind him as a waiter, posing as a caterer, and I'll swap his gun with an unloaded gun. So he'll go to shoot you, he'll think he has you, and he'll say something punchy, like, looks like I get the last shot. Click! Oh no! And that's when everything else pops off.
Thought for sure you would have gone with not throwing away my shot, but that's just me.
Oh, that would have been so much better! I did throw away my shot!
Another shot.
He's just like his country. He's young, scrappy, and hungry.
I think that's
I don't have Disney Plus, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Just get it and then
Honey,
watch it.
what?
Oh,
Otherwise,
no.
I would have watched all of The Mandalorian like 50 times already. Don't
You
worry
should
about
also
it.
Watch it. Just get it for a month and then cancel
Let
it.
me see if your boyfriend gives away a password.
Oh.
Just wait. Just hold
Oh
on.
boy, y'all spoil me too much. Don't. But I don't know. That's one. I'm throwing that out there as a general plot. What do you guys think? Amendments to the plan?
If it's in the next day, we use the next day to find out who's going, and how we can get inside, and then any supplies that we need. I think that's what we do.
Okay.
Craft some masks in the meantime.
So I got this dowsing rod, life preservers, and this hat for no reason.
It's a
No,
very-
we'll probably be going into the desert.
Okay. I was just wondering if I needed to go get like a refund or something.
very pretty hat.
Just this wide. Thank you. You put a little flower in it, you make me feel pretty. And I'll
Alright.
put on my cravat that I stole from David that makes my esteem higher.
Okay.
That was
Alright.
my cravat.
I took it, and it gives me +5 esteem, so...
Okay, so you all spend another day there. It's easy enough to find shelter, especially if you stay with the person that was willing to shelter you before.
Jason.
You don't know his name. And
With whenever it doesn't necessarily have to be RP, but like whenever it does come time to hunker down for the night, Shog will be like on his bedroll, very much like staring at his fresh scar, like not really able to sleep.
And actually, during the night, as you stare at your scar, hey Tony, make me a vitality saving throw.
Okay. Interesting.
Should
Vitality
sanitize it.
saving throw. Hey, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Nice.
But as you're looking at your hand, you basically see from the wound that you made before, you can see the start of those little black veins starting from the wound.
You used your freaking
no.
weapon that you used to punch people.
But
When I was scrolling through, I didn't think about how he had been in the room.
I didn't even think about it either.
Yeah,
Oh
Victor,
no.
Victor is like almost asleep, and then eyes wide. Oh no!
It's
it
like
doesn't-
it's like to where it's a. I don't know if you have more for tonight, but I imagine, yeah, like Shog looks at his hand, Victor like his eyes shut up, and then simultaneously they both like look at each other from across the room, just like, uh-oh.
So it doesn't expand, it doesn't spread, but you definitely have it. You would not believe when I rolled it after the session, 2 fucking nat ones in a row, and I'm like, welp.
Yep.
Wait, what was this?
When
the train episode you weren't here, Shog went into a car, or into a cabin that was occupied by 2 people that had the blight.
Uh.
And now he's got it.
I would like to definitely investigate my hand for any signs of the blight.
You wouldn't notice any yet. It's taken a while for Shogs to show up.
Yeah, and I don't know if Andrew, you may feel differently, but I feel like they would have like a very silent look and agreement of like, we keep this to ourselves. I don't know. Victor might say, but Shog's not gonna say anything.
Wait. Not only did you just make like a pact to say, "Hey, I'm gonna look out for the family," but you're gonna be the motherfucker that gets bitten by the zombie and not say anything.
Right?
Immediately, you're not looking after the family.
So I guess we look at each other and like we have that psychic conversation, and you hear, "So we're not telling anybody about this, right?" And I'm like, "That's right." And it goes over to me, and I'm like, we need to figure this out and make sure no one gets the blight, and we need to tell everyone, right? Yeah, that's right.
And then you both just nod.
We both nod at different things.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Ah, boy. I think I had something for Andrew later. I'll tell you later.
Ooh.
Okay.
Or maybe I should only tell the DM.
Ooh. Secrets. I like secrets.
David also has the blight.
Oh my god. The whole family's fucked.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
This is how it ends. Everybody but Solvus gets the blight, so Solvus inherits everything at the end. That's how.
I am the true heir of the cross fortune.
This was the perfect time to reveal it too. I'm like, oh, it's perfect. I love it. Okay, so next morning, you all are, you're all in the city again. You're getting your supplies. The supplies are easy enough to get if you want to go for those, for the journey that you're going to take later. However, invitations and infiltrating the ball are going to be a little bit more, a little bit more difficult. So what is your plan exactly? What did you think, like, what are you going to attempt to do?
We're gonna do like a Fight Club shtick with only Shog, and he's just gonna bleed on everything. And then at the very end, he's just gonna be like, "Ah!" Like that's it. That's the plan.
A good plan B. I like that as a plan B.
Like
I
that scene
definitely
in
want
Fight
to
Club.
do some recon, especially with those field glasses. I want to find a good vantage point and kind of see if I can catch glimpses of like the catering, the staff, what they would look like, what kind of security detail they're working with. I'm basically looking for all of our Ocean's 11 entry points, right? Like, what disguises do we need? Because obviously, if all the wait staff is going to be Malachite, then only Shog would fit in there. So I'm trying to look at the makeup of everything and see what our best bets are.
Okay. Well, first of all, go ahead and make me a stealth
Sweet.
check. And anybody who's gonna be reconning.
Yeah.
I think what David and you remember the part from Wonder Woman where there's a bunch of party guests going into the party and she just straight up attacks one of them and takes their clothes?
Yeah.
I think that's what David and I are ended up doing. We're going to like wait until we see someone our similar body types and just like jump them.
Fair enough.
I may also hide with half cover. I don't know if that does anything in this one.
No, I just need you to hide. Well,
Okay.
Solvus is...
Oh, I'm checking my stealth thing because I have a few ranks in that now.
Okay.
It is funny that she's twice as big as me, and I got twice the roll.
You're like really well hidden behind a rock, and like if you were to look at the rock and it was just you wouldn't see you. But then also a Protherian is like immediately behind you, just jutting out.
I'm checking.
Oh,
I'm
gosh,
checking.
do I-
I'm trying to get to the page.
Oh,
I don't have to stealth, do I?
there.
No, you guys are gonna take down a couple of people. Go ahead and make me a perception first of all, to see if you can find people as they get ready for the party.
Me?
Well,
Advantage on. Oh, it's for sound detection. Mother.
Oh, it was so
bitch.
close to a 20.
Or I'll go ahead and grab an advantage as well for those spy glasses.
God damn it, Cat! I'm not seeing anybody.
Do I use my my urban stuff for this? Artem?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Oof. Okay.
Well, it's a good thing I tacked that on.
All right. So, Shog, which part are you going with? Recon or beat 'em up?
Recon with beat 'em up at the ready, because it seems like the family's leading into recon more, but obviously Shog will throw fists when need be.
Well, we
Gotcha.
also don't need like a bunch of people. I'm pretty much on stakeout, just kind of keeping notes and figuring out
Okay, then I'll beat some fools
who's
up.
doing what.
Then I'm beating
Yeah,
some fools up.
Yeah, that'd probably be better suited for you.
Okay. They're like as you're looking through the binocular. Let me do recon first, and then we'll move to beat 'em up. As you're looking through the binoculars and like looking at the party, there's this moment where like you see one of the workers like look up from the like from whatever they're doing, and like seemingly like look directly at where you both are, but with your high roll, Victor sort of like was like, oh shit, and like you move Solvas a little bit, you like make up for her lower roll, and they sort of go about their way. So you see, yes, indeed, Malkine are the ones that are working the service, and you don't see any guests arrive yet, but it does seem like they're getting ready. Make me a perception check. Both of you can make me perception.
Sorry, who's both?
Oh, Solvas and Victor.
I rolled a nat 1. Oh, this is something different than the sneaking in? Okay.
Yeah. So...
Oh, there's the recon now, got it.
Yeah. So...
Oh my god!
Wow. Well, glad you're
I'm
getting them out of the way.
I'm done!
Solvas, you don't notice anything too out of the ordinary about it. You see all the catering and everything moving in, and it's like, well, they're getting ready for a party. Victor, you notice that the people that are working security, there's something strange about them, and like watching them, you're like, oh, those are like the kind of like disfigured fanatic people that attacked us on the train.
Oh. Huh.
So yeah, there's definitely security at this party, and they're familiar with the beat 'em up crew. Katarina, you're the only real one who notices, and perhaps because you're looking out for somebody to fit your frame as a small woman, whereas Shog and David are like, well, it could be anyone that would take over. But you notice a group of people, and I'll say you're able to point it out for everybody. Why don't all of you make me grapple checks as you go to go get
all
them.
of us?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see if I have anything.
What is the
extra for
grapple
that.
check? Is it just a physicality check?
Athletics.
Instead of a grapple check, could I try and freeze someone?
Yeah, absolutely. Make me a I guess I'll just have them save, but they're civilians, so they're gonna suck at it.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Nice.
Wow. So, Katarina, you're not able to freeze them in the commotion, but between Shog and David's strong frames, they're able to grab people away. So you were able to grab, at the very least, 2 invitations, and we'll say Shog is able to get a worker's outfit. Unless, well, I mean, there also are Malkine nobles going to it, so would Shog rather go as a worker
please.
or
we
a
have
noble?
to see Shog trying to be a noble. Yes.
All right, okay.
I'm going for the noble.
Yeah, so you were able to get some outfits off of them and 3 invitations.
All right. And masks as well.
Yes, as part of the outfits.
Well, all right, that's good.
Okay. So you've got 3 invitations, 3 full outfits for this, and I assume you like lock those people up that you kidnap or something and put them into like a abandoned house or something like that.
I'm guessing so. Yeah.
Obviously,
I whisper as I'm tying them up. You tell anybody about this, I'll give you the blight.
Oh my god.
I don't actually whisper that.
For Recon Tina, I should also mention the estate that you were going to is sort of like butted up into the cliff, and there's a long set of stairs that go up to front gates, and the back of it seems to be just completely surrounded by cliff as well. So there's really only one entrance in and one entrance out.
Okay, but I rolled a 10. Tell me about the cake that I saw being wheeled in.
Oh, the cake? It's
The cake.
well, it's a cake.
Cannon says it's big enough that cat could hide in it.
I'm uncomfortable with this.
It's absolutely big enough for Cat to hide in it.
Yes.
I have my way in. Oh,
Be a
thank you.
team player.
I already have my way in. Thank you.
So let's adjust the plan for tonight. She hides in the cake. She comes out just slinging magic all over the place. There's cake everywhere, but I think that's a win.
Am I also naked?
No, honey, no.
If
No.
Cake.
I mean, that's fine. It's a small price to pay for infiltration, am I right? I mean, to get the Simon guy.
Okay. No, thank you. I'm gonna go with the normal plan.
Fine, Ryan. Fine.
Okay. So that leaves what are Victor and Solvus going to do to get into this party? You all reconned for it, but
I don't
Yeah,
think I'm gonna be able to get in
Me neither. Like,
without calling a lot of attention.
I may have to like legit like cat thief in there, because I assume if there's a party going on, they're not using a lot of the rooms. They're using like foyer. They're using some.
it looks like
entertaining room.
it looks like it's going to be a big like courtyard party.
Okay, so certainly there will be some security inside, making sure people don't like go fuck around in the house.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the attention is going to be outside. The question is, how do we get inside? Oh my goodness.
I don't think I do. We can put you in the cake.
Yeah. Well, I think we'd have to intercept the cake.
Just
I don't
don't
know if
bake
that
it
would
with
work.
Victor inside of it.
Please don't bake it with me inside of it. I don't have heat resistance.
Ooh,
Oh
I
man.
just thought of something awful.
We could be inspectors.
I was just thinking about the episodes of Community where you have somebody flicking lights. He's like light switch inspection, like immediately where I went. That's the thing. I mean, you can probably get in. I probably cannot.
What happened to going as the waiting staff?
Well, that's all Malkine.
They're all pretty exclusively bunched.
Yeah. So we would stick out like the sorest of thumbs.
And I am 10 feet tall.
The sorest of thumbs. Oh man, this is a tough one. Could we be plus ones?
The invitations are sort of personalized.
Yeah.
Also, he totally saw me on that boat, I think.
I think he totally saw all of us on that boat.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
But-
yeah, Sideman knows all of your faces.
But like even in terms of like, oh, we're wearing masks. How many Peg Wars
Yeah.
have we frickin' seen since the
not a lot.
boat?
Oh man.
I guess you sit this one out, guys. It'd be a real bummer to not have you there. But it's the only way.
Look, with the way I've been rolling, I don't want to sneak in because I'm gonna fucking blow it.
Oh.
We'll let you know how the mission goes afterwards.
How would someone of your size sneak in?
Right. Right.
I can pretend to be a rock, okay?
In a living room?
Yes! I will hang around the bushes.
We
What?
could be
We're in the
the
desert.
entertainment. We do a ventriloquism act. I dress up like a dummy and sit on your lap. And that's the comedy bit.
Do we know if he's hired entertainment?
Dude, it's a party. He's hired entertainment.
He's hired a band.
We could be roadies for the band. I'm a doctor. I'm here to assist the needs of the band, because one of them needed some medical supplies.
And you're his nurse.
Are you saying you're one of the band's drug dealers?
No, I am a physician, good sir.
I have drugs! I could just come in and be like, I mean...
Solvus, I have drugs!
I could be the drug dealer. Just handing out party favors, man. No, I mean that's not gonna get me in there. I know it's not. So, I can hang out outside until I hear a bustle and then, like, claw my way through.
I feel like there's something here. I guess if we want to brainstorm for a minute while these guys start going at their side of the plan, we can kind of snatch cut around it.
Sure, okay.
That doesn't sound good.
Why don't you just sneak into the house and investigate his personal stuff?
I mean, I might be able to do that, but Solvas is not sneaky.
I'm sneaky, I just can't roll. Also, I'm huge.
Yeah, I thought she's a rogue.
Oh.
Kind of. But
I
also, my
do
rolling.
Do we want to go for it?
I have lockpicks, why not?
Whoa.
All right.
What the what?
Here we go.
Hold on. Why did it make all of you guys ridiculous? Oh, because I copy pasted from the wrong spot. That's why. Yeah, I'm gonna put everybody down into the scene.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to refresh my water and think about the mistakes I've made.
Yeah, we only have about
Think
half
about
an hour
what I've
left.
done.
We're not gonna get into the real nitty gritty of what's going to happen here, but we can start all of this.
Okay.
Alright, so you're having
Gonna have a good
party.
cliffhanger for us then.
Wait, what's
There is
with
a
the
good
spider?
cliffhanger. What's with the what?
Oh, the spider Gwens.
Oh, that's the
A lot
generic
of spider ones.
picture of people.
People.
I thought you were browsing my Instagram. Gotcha.
Now I
Follow
will.
a lot of cosplay stuff.
So, those of you that have invitations, you can, of course, go up and present your invitations
Yep.
at the door.
Where are we?
You're
Down
down at the
south.
bottom.
Does my invitation have a name on it? You said it was personalized. Am I pretending to be
Yeah.
someone?
Yeah, but I'll let you all decide what your names are. Oops. No,
Hey,
it's supposed to
it's,
be nighttime.
Barrington.
Welcome, or not welcome. I'm being the one being welcomed. Hello there. I'm Victor von Vorsted.
Oh, Barrington, Victor von Vorste, I have you both on the list. Please, both of you make me a deception check.
I'm assuming we get some sort of advantage on this.
Yeah, with an advantage because
masks and invitations.
Exactly, with an advantage. Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
Shog's gonna get in
said
easy
to-
enough.
So I need deception with advantage.
Yes.
Okay. Here's this. And 13 with a...
Nice. Oh, 19. Yeah. He just takes
Yeah!
as you come inside, he takes your invitations from you and lets you into the party, at which point you see that there are quite a lot of upscale people here. You can tell just from their body shapes and everything, you can tell that it's a mixture of Ashante and Malkine that are the nobles, and waitstaff moving around in between them.
So, yeah, Lord Vorstead, what exactly is our move here?
I guess try to see what the Sideman bitch is doing.
Find out who's here, find out what he's talking about, find out what he's looking for.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
And if we can,
But basically keeping our distance so he doesn't get a good look at us.
if we can, we should try and escape to the side and see if we can get his personal effects.
Oh, as Katarina comes in, give me a disguise with advantage or deception with advantage as well.
Victoria von Vorstead?
You all.
Mr. and Mrs. von Vorstead.
Can I flutter my eyes towards him? The guard?
No, for a specific reason.
Damn it.
Is it
I mean, you can try, but it won't have an effect on them.
Well, that's upsetting.
You guys ever like wink at someone and then realize you're wearing like sunglasses where they can't see your eyes?
Wow.
I've been doing that a lot with the mask, doing that polite white person smile, and I realize I don't need to do that because nobody can see it.
Ryan, that's a real bad roll.
Oh
That-
boy.
Whoa! How'd
That's the
you
worst possible roll.
Right, Victoria, go right on ahead, and they let you in.
I'm gonna do a quick bathroom break up
no.
here.
Oh boy. I know it's meta now to react in that way, but like, oh no.
Abort, get out of there.
You guys, I wasn't going to get in, but I'm a lot more deceptive than I thought. And I managed to sneak my way in. Well,
Katarina, make me a perception as you go past this guard. Oh, he definitely gives a look to another guard across the courtyard.
Oh, Shog's gonna have to kill some guards, isn't he? Or at least subdue some guards.
I
Wow,
have
that
something.
happened way sooner than I thought it was going to. Sorry, I cut you off there.
47. That is Victoria von Vorstead. I don't know if anyone else played a Hitman, but if you did, that reference is for you.
Oh yeah. Oh, Richard went away. So we're gonna wrap up soon anyway, because this party was never really meant to be a huge social event. Kind of threw in the masquerade, but at the very end. Wolfgang eventually comes out onto his balcony, and you all can probably see Wolfgang at the top of the stairs here.
Yep.
And he's going to look down at the crowd and sort of make a little speech. He's got a glass of wine in his hand. And he's looking down at everybody. He says, "Thank you all for coming. I know that ever since my father passed away, there has been concerns about the future of the company, whether or not we could continue our plan to expand this train to the furthest edges of the Heathenlands. And, well, I understand everybody's apprehension, everybody's, everybody's need to look out for their own interests. My father believed vehemently in one thing above all else. He believed that business should just be business. And it shouldn't involve any sort of emotion. However, there are people here that disagree with that sentiment. And I think those that disagree need to be removed from the equation. And next to him, there's a something covered in cloth.
Oh boy.
He rips it off and stands behind the Gatling gun that he has set up at the top of the stairs.
I am so glad I was not. I'm glad we're on the sneaking in team.
You all moved to the front of the fountain too. Why would you do that?
I was gonna say.
I was trying to be able to eavesdrop on him.
I was gonna say once he starts menacingly monologuing, I was gonna start moving back.
At least
Well, that's
I've got,
fine.
like-
If you
I've
were
got,
moving,
like, cover here at least to square forward.
but I don't think we're gonna do this fight now unless you guys absolutely want to. But we're coming up to 11 at this point.
Yeah, I think this is a good place to end it.
I think
That's
this
a
is
really
a good
strong
cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
And next time you'll fight the boss.
This
Bye.
definitely takes the cake for one of the best cliffhangers for sure.
Yep. Gatling gun.
Like, fuck.
No one's gone for heavy ranged yet. You're about to see what heavy ranged can do.
I don't like this.
Oh boy.
I did think that maybe under the sheet it was Daddy Cross, and he was just gonna like that. But also, a Gatling gun is also absolutely
That's
vicious.
bad too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Brand new
I
characters
do have a
rolled up.
do have a question for the DM after the stream's over.